even though conditioning may play a role, these will be two teams in excellent condition. Numbers look pretty good for Ohatchee, just kind of the eye test over on the sideline. Looks like they have a good number of players out. I know that just even getting a roster from coaches is a challenge at this time of the year because they don't even know who's going to be on their team. And some of these kids, frankly, that are dressing out in the spring may not even return in the fall. So, but we do have rosters for both teams, and it looks like we've got healthy numbers for both the Panthers and the Indians.
Yeah, that speaks to the kind of programs that both these teams have built, the pride in football that they take. And you're right, you have a lot of new guys that walk the halls one year, they get inspired to play football the next year, so they'll come and they'll dress out during the spring. So we also might have guys that aren't here right now that will be joining the team come fall.
Christian Finch has it teed up. There you see Jordan Montgomery standing back deep for the Panthers. He will be one of our players to watch in this one. If you know anything about Welburn football, you have heard about Jordan Montgomery. He is a special player. And the kick is fielded by an up man for Walter Welburn. That is number 26, Pat Harris, the starting running back. Stays on his feet and gives Welburn good field position to start their first series of the game at about the 36-yard line.
It'll be interesting to see the way both these teams handle all facets of the game, because really when you're playing these full games, you have a strong sample size of the entire scope. When you play the half games and simulated kicking, you don't get a good grasp on where your special teams units are. You will here in the spring with this full game.
And this game brought to you by Tony Sarah Ford down in Sylacauga. Special sale going on this week. Check out Tony Sarah Ford if you're in the market for a new or used vehicle. First carry of the afternoon for Welburn, Ked Harris. And Gerhardt, he doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. First man through for the Indians was Austin Duncan. So good play there from the middle linebacker.
He played that absolutely perfectly, read the play early on. And Ohatchee, we talked about this earlier, these two teams played in the regular season. They've played each other before. They're very familiar with one another. And so Coach Scott Martin and that defensive unit have been saying, I'm sure from Jump Street, Welburn wants to establish the run. They will make us stop the run before they throw the football, so it's a good job there by Duncan.
Both of these teams obviously like to run the football. It fits the coaching personality of both teams. But Austin McQueen can do this. I was just about to say that, and then he throws it before I could even get it out of my mouth. Jordan Montgomery coming across on a little short drag over the middle, and a nice gain will make it a 3rd and short.
There's a simple concept in football, just get the ball to the guy that makes the most plays, and Jordan Montgomery is one of those guys on offense, on defense. He's just a football player in really every sense, because he can take the ball out of the backfield, he can take the ball on the jet sweep. He's also a great route runner, so he's great in the passing game as well, the downfield passing game. They list him as a wingback, but he's so versatile that you can list him as a wingback / fullback / tight end / wide receiver.
3rd and about 2. Montgomery gets the call. Patient running, but second effort has got him close. He was stopped for no gain and fought forward for about a half a yard. I still think, based on where the official is spotting the football, he's going to be about a half yard short. They needed to get right to the 45, and the football is resting just inside the 45, as you can see. So does Coach Smith go for it here, Gerhardt?
I would think so, just to show that, he's got faith in his offense. We're seeing big number 76 walk onto the field for Welburn. That's Jamisio Elson. He's another one of our players to watch. And normally when you put those big guys in, those big defensive tackles in, you put them in as extra offensive linemen, as we're seeing now with an unbalanced side to the right. Usually means they're going to run this thing.
And Austin McQueen sneaks it to the left. So excellent play call there as they had the heavy package over to the right side of the field, and McQueen went over to the weak side and picked up the first down at the 48-yard line. So Coach Smith gambles early on 4th down on the first drive of the game in his own territory and gets first down.
And with Welburn, that's exactly what they want to do. They want to be able to create and establish the physicality up front. So far, I've been pretty impressed with Ohatchee, and we'll see how that looms as this game goes on.
Well, Ohatchee's playing tough D on those first few downs. They forced Welburn to 4th down to get the first down, but here a huge play on first down for the Panthers as Pat Harris takes a handoff and rips off about a 30-yard gain all the way down to the Ohatchee 26.
If you want to see perfect blocking, that's what it is up front. Untouched for about 8, 10. He's still untouched. And first off to the play is Austin Tucker, about 20 yards downfield. So that's phenomenal blocking right there for the big guys up front.
26-yard scamper on first down. Welburn now threatening inside Ohatchee territory, and Here goes Ked Harris, and he is a load. You know, Welburn Lewis is a key player that we're so used to seeing over the last few years in DJ Roden. Number 25 is no longer out there picking up yards for Welburn. So, Gerhard, they're going to be relying a lot this year on number 34, Ked Harris.
Right, and usually when you think about Welburn, you think of those running backs because a lot of them gained so many yards. And we just think over the past few years, you had Chance Goodman and Kevin Mixon, and then the guys that you just talked about. These are all 1,000-yard backs, and I'm sure that's exactly what coach is expecting out of both the Harris guys.
You know you got your program going when you lose those type players and you just plug in the new ones and you don't miss a beat. Austin McQueen defended well over on the left side, picks up just a couple of yards as he noses the football inside the 19-yard line to about the 18.
Welburn did a lot of this last year. They'll get in these formations, and it's really a lot of different formations with a lot of different personnel, but essentially running the same conceptual offense. And they like to pull a lot of their guards and pull a lot of tackles and get some extra run blocks across one side into the other. And then, as you stated earlier, Austin McQueen can go up and drop one over the defense's head.
Very good accuracy on the deep ball for Austin McQueen. Hit a number of those big plays last year. You saw those highlights on the Pigskin Roundup, seemed like every Friday night. This is Pat Harris. He stumbles forward to about the 11. So we'll give him 3 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
It's a big play here for this Ohatchee defense. They got the first down earlier, or got close to the first down earlier on 3rd down, and ended up going forward on 4th and inches and getting it. Right here is a manageable 3rd down for this defense. It's a down where Welburn can pass it or run it here. So let's see how the Indians respond.
McQueen puts it in the air. He's got hurt, and he drops it at the 5-yard line. I should say Ked Harris had his hands on it, Gerhard, and may have been past. Let's see, may have been just a tad behind him.
Right. It's a little bit behind him. He makes a great effort to try to get it, but it's one of those situations where he probably knows that he isn't at the sticks yet, and he's more so ready to try to get to the sticks than he is securing the football. So as he's on the run, he drops the ball as we face now 4th down, and looks like Coach Jeff Smith will try to make it 2 for 2.
Big opportunity here for this Ohatchee defense. 4th and 6. Here goes Harris. Spins inside one. Attempted tackle. He will not get the first down. Number 35, Keyshawn Goebel, the rising senior, was the first Indian to make contact, and he held on, did not let Harris get loose. So how about this? The Ohatchee defense does some serious bending here, but they do not break. They take over. Their offense will get their first possession inside their own 10.
That's a great sign there if you're Ohatchee, being able to stop a very, very good running team, one of the probably the most elite running team they'll see all year.
So Welburn eats up almost 5 minutes of the clock and come up with nothing. Man is open down the middle of the field, wide open. All the way out to the 45-yard line goes Austin Tucker. The pass from quarterback Taylor Eubanks, returning starter for the Indians. And boy, this is a big way to start the game for Ohatchee.
Absolutely. You start the game with a turnover on downs on the first drive, and then right there, Welburn's playing one high safety, and he does a very good job of just finding wherever Jordan Montgomery was going to go to the wide open guy, and comes up with a big play and a first down.
That's why I love Coach Scott Martin. He impressed me from day one when he arrived at Ohatchee with his imagination, with the execution of his players, with his play calling. That's a great first down call from deep in your own territory, albeit after the turnover. This play gains nothing, so it's 2nd down and 10.
Right, and he's got one of those minds that is always thinking about football, always thinking about the way to improve teams, and always thinking about the ways to improve his team and get better and create some energy in the program. Ohatchee is a very, very, very proud program with lots of dominating years back in the 70s and 80s, and they want to return it now.
2nd down and 11. Hand off to Jesse Sellers. He kind of tiptoes through the tulips a little bit there, picks up about 4 yards out to the 49. So this will be a 3rd and 6 now coming up for the Indians.
Looks like here will be a passing down for Ohatchee, and it'll be difficult to try to get them to, at some point, be able to, on passing downs, pass when they want to, and on running downs, run when they want to.
So big play for the Ohatchee offense now. Can they build off the big, long pass play of of almost 40 yards on their first offensive snap. They pitch it to the corner. Here goes Tucker, turns the corner. He's got the first down. Jordan Montgomery comes over from his safety spot to knock him out of bounds, but a huge conversion for Ohatchee on 3rd and 6.
This is just a simple toss play into the right, and they have more blockers than Welburn does have defenders, and he hits the corner. That's one of the things about Austin Tucker. He's a senior that has been starting for a few years now. I believe this is his 3rd year as a starter, and he's been contributing for a very long time. He just hits the corner faster than the Welburn defense, able to pick up the first down.
So Ohatchee moves the chains. They penetrate Welburn territory on their first drive of the game. 1st and 10 at the Welburn 40. And with both teams running as much as they do, this will be a fast-paced game. It has been a fast-paced first quarter so far, already down to 5.5 minutes to play in the first. Eubanks on the fake, keeps it right up the middle. Look at the hard running by Eubanks. Spins his way down inside the 30, an 11-yard gain on first down.
That's just a simple execution by Eubanks, being able to just continue to move his feet and drive that defense back. Eubanks, as well as Austin Tucker, they have been kind of the staples of this offense as quarterback and running back for a long time now, and now both entering their senior seasons. I know they want to have big years for head coach Scott Martin. They went through all the trials and all the turnovers. There was lots of coaching changes over the past few years, and they've settled in nicely.
So 1st and 10, here goes Eubanks again. He has a one-man wrecking crew on this drive. Jordan Montgomery has to bring him down in the secondary, but not before. He picks up 12 yards and another Indian first down. And Gerhard, Ohatchee's doing this against one of the most physical defenses in Calhoun County.
Absolutely. This is one of the most physical defensive fronts and really front sevens that Ohatchee has seen all year long. But once again, these two teams are familiar with one another, and they've established running on the inside and running on the outside, so they're making Welburn respect both.
Eubanks takes the snap, hands off, coming left is Jesse Sellers, and he is taken off his feet by Lamarion Roden, who I would assume wearing number 25 when the last name Roden has to be kin to DJ.
Absolutely. There was Del Rickus a little while ago, and then DJ, and the Rodens and the Elsons, those families run deep over there in Welburn.
Got to correct myself. That was number 26, Pat Harris, on the stop, I believe. But nonetheless, there is a number 25 on the defense right now, Lamarion Roden. 2nd down and 4. Eubanks finds a seam right up the middle of the Welburn defense, and Eubanks has another first down as he picks up 6 yards, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Ohatchee Indians.
They're doing this, it's a design run, and it's really kind of an option play where Eubanks will have the option to pitch it out to Austin Tucker, and you could tell half the defense is trying to see if he's actually going to pitch it out, which creates just a tad bit of space, and that little bit of hesitation is all Tucker needs.
So 1st and goal for Ohatchee. Here goes Tucker trying to turn the corner, cannot do so. Coming up from the secondary is Walker Hayes of Welburn, and this play will actually lose a couple of yards back to the 7.
It's a much better job there of stopping the offense on that running play. You saw just about 6 or 7 plays ago in the middle of the field, they picked up the first down on that very same play right there.
So 2nd and goal from the 7. The clock ticking down near 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Eubanks trying to find some room himself, and he is met by the same young man who made the previous tackle, Walker Hayes. And Mr. Hayes has really showed up here on these first 2 plays of this goal-to-go situation. There is Ohatchee Indians head coach Scott Martin. As Gerhard said, the Indians have improved under his reign. Last year they finished 4-6, did not make the playoffs, but boy, they showed some promise offensively, Gerhard. They scored over 40 points 3 times last year. They scored 42 against Asheville, 49 against Pleasant Valley, 49 against Raglan. They also scored 34 against Westbrook Christian. So, again, there's one thing about this Indian team. They are going to be well coached under Scott Martin.
Absolutely, and Scott Martin, he's a great friend of Auburn head coach Gus Malzahn, and really gets a lot of his offensive ingenuity and also creativity from that kind of offense. And Obviously, like Auburn, they want to establish the run, and it's about the same with Ohatchee. And Ohatchee obviously knows that they've built themselves on a power run game, so they like to have a very big physical offensive lineman, but a quarterback that can do both pass and run, versatile running backs that can catch the ball out of the backfield. And he's been developing that slowly by slowly over the course of the last 2 years he's been on campus.
So 2 minutes, 17 seconds left here in our first quarter. We've only had 2 offensive possessions so far in this entire quarter. Welburn started the game with the football, marched all the way down, got deep inside Ohatchee territory, was held on 4 downs inside the Ohatchee 15. Ohatchee starting from deep in their own territory. Here they are now facing 3rd and goal from just inside the 6.
Similar situations for both defenses, and it really becomes a point where the offense can mix some things up here. We saw Welburn try to run the ball on about 4th and 6, or try to pass the ball, I should say, on 4th and 6, and run the ball earlier on 3rd down in their last possession. Now facing 3rd down is the Ohatchee Indians. We'll see what head coach Scott Martin draws up after his defense did a good job of securing this ball on their time.
So here we go, 3rd down and goal from just inside the 6. Eubanks will attempt his first pass of the day, and it's incomplete. He was looking for number 40, Owen Hale. Jordan Montgomery was not fooled. He was right there in the right spot, and that play had no chance.
Absolutely, and it's a good job there by the Welburn defense, and really that was just a play where he's not reading anything. He's not even looking at a second receiver. He was going up top to 40, put it to where his guy can catch it or no one could catch it. And here the Indians face 4th down.
So the Ohatchee defense was able to come up with a big stop on 4th down. Let's see about the Welburn D. Eubanks hands it off up the middle to Sellers, and he is in for the touchdown. So Ohatchee able to execute on 4th down, unlike the Welburn Panthers, and the Indians have struck first in this one.
It's just fantastic blocking up front, and we saw a heavy dose of Eubanks and Tucker, and then they just go to a guy we haven't talked about all game long, Jesse Sellers. First carry, he's in for 6. And that's a great job there by the Ohatchee defense, turning into offense, and the offense going the distance of the field, capping it off. A missed extra point here, so it's a touchdown. It makes it 6-0 Ohatchee.
So the Indians get on the scoreboard first in this one, the first game of the Calhoun County Spring Jam. There you see the Tony Sarah Ford scoring drive. This is impressive. When you go 91 yards in 12 plays in 5 minutes against a defense, that's good.
Absolutely.
But when you go 12 plays, 91 yards against the Welburn defense, you've done something.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what head coach Scott Martin has wanted to do with this offense, create drives like this. And he honestly believes, and there's a lot of people who are starting to believe it as well, that Ohatchee this is the year they can make that run. And really, in order to do that, you have to line up against some of the best and be able to execute, and that's exactly what they did defensively and then offensively, and that's really impressive, chewing up just over 5 minutes.
What a confidence boost that has to be for the Ohatchee sideline. And their fans who have done a pretty good job of coming out and supporting their team here early on a Thursday afternoon. A lot of folks not even off work yet. Made it here in time for the start of this one. Same young man who fielded the opening kickoff for Welburn, Pat Harris, fields this one, and he stopped just about at the same spot. A yard further upfield than the last time. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 36 for Welburn as they come back out for their second offensive possession.
We'll see what they do here. Had some pretty solid success with the run plays going to the left, and then when they needed the power, they brought in some of the big guys and got some of the plays there in short yardage situations. We'll see if head coach Jeff Smith dials up a little more vertical passing plays here on this drive.
So 1st down and 10. Here goes Harris. Another gaping hole, and he is upended at the 49-yard line by Ohatchee's Cam McCombs. But that's a big play on 1st down. It nets the Panthers 14 yards and a 1st down.
Give some credit blocking up front to Number 34, Ked Harris, 58. The pulling offensive lineman, Dalton Epps, senior Epps, and also Ked Harris really freeing up the space there. That's exactly what this offense is built on, moving that line of scrimmage.
Keyshawn Goebel of Ohatchee went limping off the field after that previous play, something you do not like to see. Hope that young man is okay. Here, Jordan Montgomery, tackled by Caleb Montgomery. The Montgomery guys meeting at the 49-yard line, play gain about a half yard. Here's a look at Welburn head coach Jeff Smith, entering his 8th season out at the Hill. He has had a lot of success, Gerhard. They've won 50 games. They've been to the playoffs every year he's been there. You know, a lot of folks remember him from his days at Ohatchee, out at the Creek Bank, had some great teams there. Also coached at Hueytown, played at Welburn High School, so it's kind of a homecoming for him. When you talk about coaches that are in their ideal job, he is in his ideal job. When you talk to Jeff Smith at Welburn, first of all, if you can even get him to talk to you while he's at Welburn, because he's always doing something
exactly
about getting ready for something related to football. He is in his element.
Absolutely, and you could tell by where he left from. He left from Hueytown, really solid job. In fact, if he would have coached there about 3 more seasons, he would have coached a young man by the name of Jameis Winston had he stayed at Hueytown. And he left a big, powerful school that was on the rise to coach at his alma mater, a place in the community that he has so much pride in. And he came in with his son as the quarterback, Judd Smith, and Judd is now one of the assistant coaches for him. A lot of pride that this man has in this school and in this community, and you are dead on. This is the perfect /dream job for head coach Jeff Smith, and it shows every day in his passion, every day his work with his football team and the school at large.
And he's also back at home here at JSU, play college football here. And as Gerhard said, his son Judd is his quarterback's coach. Coach Smith has a young son that they call Jet that I think will be in the 8th grade this year. And look out, folks. You will see a lot of this young Jeff Smith son coming up in the next few years. And I'll just put it to you this way. His big gain here for Pat Harris of about 9 yards. They don't call him – Jet's not his real name.
Right.
So that will tell you something about what he can do.
Absolutely. You got Jet, Judd, and Jeff, all 4-letter J's, and I'll tell you what, I'm really excited to see what young Jet has, and that's another thing that Coach Smith has done really well is he ingratiates all of the youth community football, the young guys. Everybody's on the same page. If you go to Welburn as a 3rd or 4th, 5th grader, you are running the same conceptual offense as you'll see on Friday night, some of the guys you idolize on the varsity level, and then it makes a seamless transition when you're going up to play varsity football yourself. So it's a true community effort, Welburn football.
And we may see Jed in the 4th quarter. Jed is he is in the 8th and will be going into the 9th next season. So Ked Harris takes the handoff. He didn't need much to get the first down. I don't think he got enough. He only needed about a little less than a yard, but Gerhard, I think he's a couple inches short.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit there to Austin Tucker, number 3 for Ohatchee, came up and made the play in the open field. And that's a key block right there, and a little bit of deja vu from the first series, 4th and inches here. We'll see what head coach Jeff Smith does. Looks like they might take time to measure it, bring the chains out just to get an accurate measurement here, but Welburn in these short yardage situations like to go to that power formation. We saw them do that earlier in this game, and we'll see what the officials say here on this 4th and short.
As you see, 1 second left on the clock. And they will bring the chains out, and I would venture to say that he's going to be short by a couple of lengths.
Right. Just from the naked eye looking when they first spotted the ball, it looks like it'll be really short. We'll have a great shot right here, and I think you're dead on, Mickey, just by that much.
So 4th down, and I'm sure that we're going to see the heavy package, and Welburn's going to go for it. There you see number 76, Jamario Elston, who is a starting defensive tackle for the Panthers, coming out on the field to be used in this short yardage situation. Last time, Gerhard, they went heavy on the right side. McQueen did a sneak to the left.
Absolutely, and I would expect to see something similar. They had an unbalanced line on one side, and they ran it back to the other side. I wonder how many times Jamisio Elston, 76, has lobbied to be the running back in that situation. The old refrigerator Perry style, and we saw Alabama do it with guys like Terrence Cody, and different teams have done it. We'll see what they do here. He's lined up on the opposite line. Once again, an unbalanced line to the right as we have a whistle before the play starts.
Well, they wound the clock. We probably should have just let the clock run out and did that measurement between quarters, but that's okay. It's spring training for the officials, too. That'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Been an entertaining game, and we're going to send it down to the field now for a report from John Holder.
Okay, guys, giving away again the first touchdown. Welburn sideline. So Welburn cheerleaders take it away in 3, 2, 1, go. It's taken a while, guys, but finally we've got them all out. The core sports moments, touchdown T-shirts, and we'll have more to give away later on in the game on the Ohatchee side.
I'll tell you what, the Welburn Panther cheerleaders, they've had so much practice when it comes to this over the course of however long we've been throwing out those touchdown T-shirts on the Pigskin Roundup. We go to their games just about every week. Every game on the Hill is covered for Welburn, and they all know exactly what to do with those T-shirts, and they found those fans there eventually.
There you see our score at the end of the first quarter, 6-0 Ohatchee. The Indians getting a short touchdown run by Jesse Sellers late in the first quarter. They missed their extra point. And Welburn is trying to answer after coming up short on their first offensive possession. So they're facing fourth down, and as you saw a moment ago, just a couple of links of the chain to get the first down. But you can take nothing for granted. Ohatchee will be looking to get some penetration, try to disrupt the play behind the line. Welburn will go heavy again toward the right side. See what the play call is here on 4th and inches. McQueen, same play as before, and he got the first down as he nudges forward to about the 39. So the Panthers get a new set of downs.
That was a lot of meat on the short side of the field just to run back to the middle of the field, and McQueen is a guy that you could just put the ball in his hands and you could feel just as confident as just about anybody else that they've put in over the last few years. And you can write off some of the names that have played quarterback for head coach Jeff Smith. You had guys like Landon McChristy a few years back, and then Judd Smith. All these guys are tough, physical runners that are smart football players, and that's what makes them the quarterbacks of these offenses.
Jordan Montgomery gets the call, and Montgomery, his first carry of the game, and it's a good one, down near the 30, which puts him very close to a first down. Jordan Montgomery is going to be a player to watch this year. He's definitely one of the top players in the East Alabama region. I do know for a fact that Auburn defensive line coach Rodney Gardner was here last year to scout Jordan Montgomery at this game. And I'm not sure exactly how many offers he has, but he has the type of ability to play at somewhere like an Auburn at that level, because you've got some of those type schools who are looking hard at him, especially during his senior year.
Exactly. One of the things they love about him is he's so versatile.
Nothing doing here for Cad Harris. Ohatchee defended the play well. A host of Indians there. Number 62, Caleb Montgomery, right in the middle of the pile. So it's going to be 3rd and about a half yard. Another short yardage situation. Seems like Welburn's been in a number of these already in this first quarter. And we have an officials timeout.
Talk about the players and the coaches. The officials will also get evaluated from these games as well. There are heads of officials from different associations that have been a part of these jamborees and a part of the jamborees that are across the state of Alabama. And they get to know the rules, and they get to teach new referees that will be referees in the 2016 season and how to officiate these games. So they take it just like they would on a Friday night in September. So it's a kind of a learning process for everybody, and a process for everybody that helps them get better in the fall. This is not just here just to see football and whatnot. This is, as we see the first down here, this looks like it's a pretty clear first down.
Good decision to measure, because they had lined it up as 3rd and short. So the measurement gives Welburn a first down at the just inside the 30-yard line. There you see the Panther mascot here. Again, the bands from both teams here. Welburn with a good crowd on the press box side, or the home side, if you will, at JSU Stadium. Most of the Ohatchee fans on the opposite side of the field, where their team is utilizing that sideline. Pass deep downfield for Jordan Montgomery is incomplete. Number 6 was guarded by number 6 of Ohatchee, Grayson Allward, with good coverage. So Welburn kind of going away from a tendency there on first down and putting the ball in the air. But I think that's a great call by Jeff Smith. He and I even talked about this a lot last year. When you got this young man, Austin McQueen, who's got the kind of arm he does, you know Jeff Smith likes to run the football, but when you got a guy that's got that kind of arm, I think it does serve you well, especially over the long haul, with a long view, to have him throw some in early downs to get teams to be thinking about that.
Exactly. When you play some of the elite teams up top, you want them guessing on first down.
Nice misdirection handoff. Number 7, Javion Thomas. Big guy. Looked like he had more room to roam, but the whole field quickly. Chase Wijdian made the stop at the 25. So here we are again, 3rd down and 5.
It's a good look there at Austin McQueen, and we talked about he's a phenomenal passer. This is a passing situation, and I think that Welburn knows it, and I think that Ohatchee knows it as well. So we'll see what they dial up here.
Need to take it to the 20 for a first down. The pitch to Montgomery. Got a couple of lead blocks in front of him. Bulls his way past one defender. He's got himself a first down, and that is, he might want to check that chin strap. That's the second time already I've seen Montgomery's headgear pop off. The first time was when he was making a tackle, and the second time right here after this nice run.
Absolutely. Need to check when I say passing down and throwing down, because that was a 3rd and 6, and I figure just about every offensive coordinator will want to put the ball in the air, though. Not Welburn. It's a good job there by the offensive unit getting some room on the outside, and good shot at Jordan Montgomery and his head coach.
Doesn't he look better this year? I mean, he was good last year, but it just, you know, you can tell this kid's put in some work in the offseason. He looks ready to go. Almost looks like he's grown a little. Pass to the end zone is incomplete. It was intended for Jalen Booker, and he had his paws on it in the back of the end zone and just could not pull it down.
Watch Jason Wigden here, Chase Wigden, I should say, for Ohatchee. Does a pretty good job of just going in there and scraping that ball out. A lot of times the defensive coaches don't want to risk a pass interference there, but he tracked the ball in the air as soon as he had it in his hands there, and Jalen Booker, it's a nice route, it's a nice combination, actually nice play call. Good job there on the last effort there by the defense to break that one away.
Welburn back in the red zone. Can they finish this drive? Montgomery spins down to around the 3, and that was number 6, Grayson Allward, on the stop. He's been in on a number of plays already in this game. So here we are, 3rd and goal from the 3. Welburn clearly wants to finish this drive and not be held out of the end zone for their second trip into Ohatchee territory, and Welburn brings in that heavy package. Shamario Elston, who up until this point, every time he's entered the game, has just been the biggest decoy in Calhoun County. They haven't even ran behind him. We'll see what they choose to do here on 3rd and goal from inside the 4. McQueen gives it to Harris, and he's in. Broke the tackle, or the attempted tackle, of Jacob Lowe, and Harris puts Welburn on the scoreboard.
That's just a good play there. Lines up basically as a fullback, and they had options there where he can hand it off to Ked Harris or hand it off to Pat Harris. He went with the first option, and he's able to get in there for the touchdown, and that's a great drive. And you know that's a great capper for head coach Jeff Smith. He really wanted to get into the end zone there. Faced a couple 4th downs, kept a couple 3rd and shorts, able to maneuver through it and get on the scoreboard.
And look who's attempting the extra point. Number 6, Jordan Montgomery, straight on kicker, and he missed it. So we've already spotted one thing both teams need to work on, and that's those extra points. We've had 2 missed, 1 from each team. Score will remain 6-6 with 8:39 left in our second quarter.
That's the benefit of going live in kicking, and this is really a coach's decision, a coach's discretion, and then Calhoun County coaches got together and decided upon this live kicking situations, live kickoffs, and also live field goals and extra points there. And as you said, it highlights what you need to work on.
And the Tony Sarah Ford scoring drive, 15 plays, 64 yards, 5 minutes and 27 seconds. Very similar looking drive to Ohatchee scoring drive. And that puts us back even at 6 apiece.
It's always funny to watch whenever you have two fighters, so to speak, that do the same style. They say style makes fights. That's one of the key quotes in boxing. And we're seeing what both these teams like to do here offensively on the gridiron as well. And Coach Scott Martin and Jeff Smith's clubs are going really toe-to-toe and both doing a fantastic job, both offensively and defensively. And really, the times that their offense have had the football, they've been long drives. And Welburn's punched in theirs on their second one, and Ohatchee looking to do the same.
Yeah, and both teams have 2 drives each now. They've each scored on one, and they've been held on one. They've moved the football on every drive. But, you hear coaches say now in this modern era, defense, the success of your defense is really not determined anymore from 20 to 20 because offenses are so prolific now with the spread, the way coaches are spreading out players. Things really get tight when you get inside that 20, and that's really where defense counts at that spot on the field. Nice return here by Jesse Sellers out across the 40, so Ohatchee will have excellent field position for their third possession of the game at the 42-yard line. 8 minutes, 30 seconds left here in our second quarter.
And really, that's the story of the game. We talked about earlier how the offense is kind of control the 20 to 20, but it's number one, big plays, how many big explosive plays you can get, and then red zone offense executing when everything gets tighter down there.
Speaking of tight, look at both these teams with everybody within about 10 yards. No wide receivers in the formation. All 11 guys basically within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage for the Welburn defense. Ohatchee gets about 3 yards here from Austin Tucker. It'll be second down and 7.
Both teams just seem content to know they have established a run and be able to do so more of the same. And it really comes to the team that goes off game plan just a little bit. We'll see what both coaches like to do here because there's obviously certain things in the spring that you've liked so far, you've liked the way your teams run, and you want to see if that translates into the games.
And here is the handoff to Tucker once again. Nice gain as he crosses the 50. Once again, Ohatchee dips inside Welburn territory, Gerhard.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because they're not doing it with any kind of trickeration. They're really kind of doing it in the same style as Welburn. A lot of power running, pulling guards, pulling tackles along the inside and outside. Really these tight sets, all these sets where the players are within, like you said earlier, about 10 yards away from the football.
Welburn showing blitz from their middle linebacker, number 13, Kane Pitts. Ohatchee maybe changing up the play here. And they're going to call a timeout to talk it over. So timeout on the field with 7:08 left in our second quarter. I tell you one thing about these two coaches, we've kind of talked about both of them a good bit in this game already. I know I've talked to both of them. They really, really highly respect each other and each other's program. Even though Ohatchee hasn't won a whole lot of games the last 2 years, you talk to any coach around here, they respect this program and what Scott Martin has done, even though the wins aren't there yet.
Right, because everybody can see that his teams are building, and really a lot of the things that can be taken away from a record or away from a scoreboard are kind of misnomers, because the guys that understand where this team is, you talk to the head coach like Piedmont's Steve Smith or Glencoe, or the former head coach at Glencoe, Lee Osmond, these guys understand. These guys know that this Welburn team that they're putting on the field now is not the same Welburn team that was there in 2011, 2012. It's a much better, much improved unit, and those wins, even though they did get wins over Ohatchee, are harder to come by, and they know that they're building towards something a lot better.
Third down and inches now for Ohatchee at the Welburn 49. Eubanks keeps it himself. Got the first down and more. Knocked off his feet inside the 45-yard line by Walter Welburn's Dalton Elps, the rising senior. This will move the chains. Another first down for the Indians.
Just didn't stop moving his feet here after first contact, and that's what really was able to gain the separation and pick up the first down. They hemmed him up just a little bit on that right by the first down marker. He's able to sneak past it and assure himself another 4 downs.
Again, these drives are so time consuming. Very few passes, so that clock just keeps running. 1st and 10. Eubanks, couple of fakes, right up the middle. Tackled once again by number 58, Dalton Epps. But when you're picking up 4 or 5 yards on 1st down, you got something going offensively.
Yeah, and you'll take it. And they, that time, faked both guys to the outside. And what that really does is it just pulls your linebackers out just a hair and puts a little bit of extra pressure on your defensive lineman to come make the plays. And that time, Epps does make the play, but not after, like you said, picks up about 4 or 5 yards there and makes it a manageable 2nd down.
2nd down and 6 coming up now. And here's the give to Sellers, sweeping left, and another big gainer here against this Welburn Panther defense. This play goes for close to 11 yards. Another 1st down. Great lead block there from Ohatchee's offensive line. They see number 56, Jacob Lowe, out there getting a good block. Also number 3, Austin Tucker, blocking downfield. Nice job.
Yeah, exactly. And you want linemen that can block in space and get out there and help lead your guys. And really, like we said, the same concepts as Welburn, doing it at a little different formations. Welburn does a lot out of under the center. Ohatchee likes to go out of the gun.
1st down. Here's Tucker. And play defended better that time. I tell you, Dalton Epps is a tackling machine on this drive right now. That's his 3rd tackle already on this drive, and more importantly, he got the back before he got going. A short gain of about 2.
It seems like with these offenses, that's what you want to do. Play well on 1st down and really make the teams make a choice here on 2nd down, 2nd and long. You put the ball in the air in these situations. Another interesting thing is both these teams will play each other, as we talked about in the open. They'll play each other in the regular season. So you don't want to open up the playbook too much. You want to be able to keep some things conservative at the same time being competitive and try to win the game.
2nd and 8. Tucker, big hole. Stays on his feet, close to a 1st down, and I hadn't said anything because I didn't want to jinx anyone, but I've been waiting on that first yellow flag, and we just got it. And it's going to be a costly one for Ohatchee because this nice run that would have possibly net him another 1st down is coming back due to a holding call.
Probably one of the reasons why he was able to get so open, because of that hold. But like you said, really clean football between these two teams, and really with the way that the past games that we've had here on 24 have been called, lots and lots of flags, and this one has been relatively clean in retrospect.
Hopefully this is not the start of a trend. So they mark the holding penalty off against Ohatchee, and that brings it all the way back to the 33. So instead of having the football near the 15, they're facing 2nd down at about 17.
In football games, I mean, this is a spring game, but in a real game situation, you will go back and look at a play like this if it's a 1-possession game and say, that was a huge, huge play.
Here goes Sellers. Nice block on the corner, and he's down near the 20. I believe that was number 62, Caleb Montgomery, downfield. We'll get another look at it here, Gerhard. They're just really getting out on the perimeter with some great blocking.
It was. You called it. 62, Caleb Montgomery does a great job on Pat Harris. And Harris really with nowhere to go. That's a big body out there. Just able to get his hands on the inside. And that's a really, really strong, fine run job there by Tucker. But give a lot of credit to those guys up there that you're seeing in your screen right now. The guys up front are really making it happen, pulling, and also getting some down blocks.
Looks like they've really developed their offensive line. That has to be probably, just in the little bit we've seen so far, Gerhard, the biggest improvement I've seen is they've got good size. These guys have good feet. They're blocking downfield, which takes a 4 or 5 yard gain and turns it into a 12, 15 yard gain. And look, they were 2nd and 17 after the holding penalty. In 2 plays, they got a 1st down.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what's so impressive about this team is that they look much bigger, much stronger, much faster. I'm not sure what the conditioning program down there at Ohatchee is, but whatever it is, it's working because this offensive line and really just the offensive unit altogether looks really, really impressive.
1st down at the Welburn 13. Now let's see if that Panther defense can stiffen. Tucker is taken down by Jordan Montgomery at the 8 yard line. But again, it's a nice gain on first down of about 5 yards.
You're seeing right there, number 55 coming into your screen. That is Jarrett Ford coming in with a nice block. And really, a lot of these lead blocks are kind of huge because it's the difference between a play that is maybe 1 or 2 yards or a play that's dropped for a loss and a play that goes for 5 or 6 yards. And then we have all these good running backs and good runners, when you count Eubanks in there as a quarterback, that fall forward, pick up those extra yards.
Second down and 5. Eubanks hands to Sellers. Look at it. He's got a convoy in front of him. Cuts it back, and he's in the end zone. I tell you, this is some outstanding execution for a spring football game. Look at the pulling blocks here. He's got 3 guys in front of him, just clears the path, let him get touched till about the 1 yard line.
62, Caleb Montgomery, who had a great block earlier. He was one of the guys. 56 out there, Jacob Lowe. He was one as well. And there was nothing fancy about that. That was shoot yourself in the foot on a first down, get a holding call, 2nd and 17, no panic whatsoever, essentially call the same plays offensively and get yourselves into the end zone. That is just a phenomenal job right there by the Indians.
Kristen Finch out of a hole from Austin Eubanks. See if Ohatchee can make this extra point. And they do. It slips through there. So that will make the score 13-6 Ohatchee with 2:49 left to play here in the first half. So what a drive put together there by the Ohatchee Indians.
Really, really, really impressive when you take a look at this Indian squad and what Coach Scott Martin has built. As we talked about earlier, he only has 5 wins under his belt over the last 2 seasons, but each and every year improving, and capped off with that drive. It shows just how far this team has come, because you wouldn't have seen this not too long ago in our Sarah Ford drive. 13 plays, 58 yards, just over 5 minutes, and all of these drives, whether it's plays, yards covered, or time, all look really similar.
All these drives have been over 10 plays, so we haven't really had any big scoring plays in the game. There's a look at the Weaver Bearcats coming into JSU Stadium. They will be taking on the Alexandria Valley Cubs in the second game of the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree. By the way, I'd like to pass along a special thank you on behalf of Calhoun County Schools. They have some sponsors that have helped make the experience here at JSU Stadium possible. I'd like to thank Tyler Union, Preston's Plumbing and Drain Cleaning Service, Screened Out Graphics, and County Commissioners J.D. Hess and Lee Patterson. Jordan Montgomery runs over and picks it up at the 18-yard line. By the time he could pick it up, Ohatchee was downfield in a hurry, led by number 45, Austin Duncan, as they stop Montgomery at the 26-yard line. So, Welburn, 2 minutes and 44 seconds to work with here. Might we see McQueen open it up a little bit here?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised, because this is a great time to now run your 2-minute offense, see what your quarterback has. And this is not time for one of those, obviously, longer drives. And so I'm sure they might try to establish the run early, but I would not be surprised if towards the end of this drive they're putting the ball in the air.
First down, they pitch it to Harris. Harris with a lot of speed, and he gets up to speed quickly. He's spun down at the 33-yard line by Ohatchee's Chase Widgeon.
Good job there by the Ohatchee defense, not before a big play. There by Welburn's offense. Is a good look at that unit right there. And Welburn, it's all about pride in running the football, and it's made possible by these big guys up front as McQueen comes in with the offensive play call.
Welburn taking their time, not getting in a hurry here. Second down and 3. Montgomery and Booker split to the right on this, out of this formation, and the give is to Harris. Harris is tackled by Austin Tucker after a gain of 4 yards. It is enough to move the chain, so they'll stop the clock for the moment with 1:45 to play in the first half. Now that Welburn has a first down, we might see him go to the air here.
Yeah, I would think so, and Jordan Montgomery would be one of those guys that you would look forward to. He's lined up along the outside.
McQueen. Oh, nice design play. They throw it back here to Kane Pitts. He gets a good block, and he ducks his head and bulls his way out to the 48-yard line. That should be Another Welburn first down, a gain of 10.
We talked so glowingly about the Ohatchee offensive line that was able to get out and make some blocks there. 52, Zach Chandler, and 58, Dalton Epps for Welburn, doing the exact same there on what looked like a screen play, a designed screen route to the backside. It looks more like a lateral coming to the other side, but either way, it's a nice play by Pitts and that offensive line.
First catch of the day for Kane Pitts. 1st and 10. McQueen wide open. Jordan Montgomery at the 40. Cuts that back upfield. Still on his feet. And Jordan Montgomery is down to the Ohatchee 31-yard line before Grayson Allward tackled him there. I thought Montgomery might just head to the sidelines and get out of bounds, but nice job here with yards after the catch.
It's one of the things you cannot give big number 6, Jordan Montgomery, is space, and he really doesn't need a lot of it. He doesn't have a lot of it right here, but, I mean, 4, 5, 6 yards, and his athleticism takes it over and does the rest.
1st and 10. McQueen rolling out. He hits Harris, and Harris is inside the 20, taken off his feet by Sellers at the 17. That is another Welburn first down, so they have gone to the air with much success here, Gerhard, in the waning moments of the first half.
Absolutely, and that play was just a nice play to the flats, able to get in there as Ohatchee's defense will call timeout and try to reset after 2 big pass plays by the Welburn offense.
Boy, what a big momentum boost this would be if Welburn could march almost 80 yards in a couple of minutes and potentially tie this game, but they've still got a little ways to go. It's first down inside the 17. Time is a factor. Only 38 seconds left here in the first half. Ohatchee called that timeout, by the way.
That's one good thing about playing these full games, these real games, is that these situations right here are what you would see on a Friday night. A game situation where you have 2 minutes and change, 3 minutes and change. Can you run your normal offense and then mix it in with a little bit of the hurry-up stuff? Create some sense of urgency going into halftime if you want to score going into halftime, if you want a field goal late in the game. These are situational plays. You hear a lot about situational football, and that's exactly what this is, and that's exactly what this creates, because you have no idea how many times this might pop up in a season. If it pops up 2 or 3 or 4 times, that could be the difference in 2 or 3 or 4 wins, which could be a difference in a playoff spot or not, which could be a difference in hosting a playoff or not. So, you know, these games and these situations are really important.
Coach Jeff Smith hoping his team can finish the drive here late in the first half. 3 receivers split to the wide side of the field there at the top of your screen. McQueen throws a little bubble screen to Jordan Montgomery, breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet inside the 10, inside the 5. He is in. Touchdown. And that was all Jordan Montgomery. He got a good block after the pass from his fellow wide receiver. Then look at what he does.
On the outside there, and we talked about earlier, sometimes it's as simple as getting the football to the best player on your football team. And you can make an argument that he is the best player not only on this team, but one of the best players in the entire county. And Jordan Montgomery just showing it off there, and that's an incredible individual effort by Jordan Montgomery, who will also do the kicking. So Mr. Everything for Welburn puts the ball into the end zone and can tie the game up with 1 kick.
Out of a hold from McQueen. And the official blows the whistle before the kick. Timeout Welburn before the extra point. So the Panthers with an opportunity to tie the game here with 30 seconds left in the first half.
If you're Welburn, you have to be really satisfied with the way that drive went. It started off early with a couple of run plays, and then late went to the air, found Jordan Montgomery, found Kane Pitts on a screen, found Pat Harris on a screen, and then when you went trips to the right side, and then just all you did was slant Jordan Montgomery, able to get into the end zone. That's great versatility. That's a lot of different things you can hang your hat on as you go here at a halftime and then into 7-on-7 later in the summer, and then fall camp opening up. Lots of great versatility that you can run with come fall.
Tell you what's impressive to me about this drive, the play calling at the beginning of the drive. They were backed up at about their 22, 23-yard line. It was about 1:45 left in the half. They didn't go for the home run on first down because if you throw 3 incomplete passes, Ohatchee could score. They ran a couple of plays, got 1 first down under their belt, then they started throwing the ball.
I remember you said that as soon as they got the first down, you said, now we might see them opening up. And that goes to the mindset of the coaches of let's establish what we do first. We have plenty of time to put the ball in the air, everything executed perfectly.
So Montgomery's extra point try is wide. No, it's good. Thought he missed it, but he got it. So both kickers now are one for 2 in the extra point department, and we are tied at 13-13. Gerhard with 30 seconds left in the first half. Our Tony Serra scoring drive. First drive, I believe, in the game that's been under 10 plays, but look at the yardage. 74 yards in 2 minutes and 14 seconds. You talk about your halftime, into half, and into game 2-minute drill. Jeff Smith has to be pleased. I know he won't smile right now.
Right.
But he has to be pleased with his team offense's execution on that drive.
Oh, for sure. And there's a lot to be proud of. And there's really a lot to be anticipatory about when it comes to the fall, because now you know maybe 4 or 5 set plays in your 2-minute offense that you can go to with success.
Hear a fan from the stands yelling at Welburn, okay, Panthers, let's find somebody to hit. Boy, that sums up Welburn football, doesn't it?
I'm sure they've heard that a zillion times over the years at stadiums far away and also at the Hill, our film right there, capturing probably really the collective soul of that Welburn special teams unit as they take the field here for this kickoff.
Again, the kicking game in the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree is live, except for the fourth quarter. The first 3 quarters, there is live kicking. Welburn has not done a good job of getting depth on their kick and covering. Ohatchee's had good field position on all 3 of their drives after kickoffs. I believe all 3 of them have been outside the 30-yard line, or outside the 35, actually. This a little better kick, fielded by Chase Widgeon. Widgeon, nice moves, and here they are again out near the 35. This was a better kick, a much better return for Ohatchee, and they'll have the football with 21 seconds left. I don't see Coach Martin getting greedy here, do you?
No, I don't either. I think that he can go back at halftime and see exactly what his team has done, point out some of the good things, and really not worry as much about the scoreboard right here. If they can get a big play maybe on first down, you try something. Second down, you try something. But in a game-like situation like they would face come September, I'm pretty sure that he'd be comfortable with taking a tie at halftime.
First down, running play. Austin Tucker out across the 45. Epps again on the stop. A number of tackles for Epps from this Welburn defense here in the first half. A gain of about 6, and that should be the final play of our first half, and it will indeed be, as Ohatchee will let the clock run out, and they'll head over to the shaded area by the JSU Fieldhouse, which is where they will spend halftime. The Welburn Panthers will head over to the visitors' locker room here at JSU Stadium. Very, very entertaining first half here. I believe John Holder is actually caught up with the Ohatchee coach, so we'll go down the field in just a moment. 13-13 our score here at halftime of Game 1 of the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree. Let's send it down to John.
Okay, here with Ohatchee head coach Scott. Football, very, very impressive, especially offensive. You had some drives today that were just classic, 3 yards in the clock, eating up time, and game.
It is a physical football game. I mean, Welburn's a physical football team. We feel like we're a physical football team. We knew what it was going to be when we came out here. You know, both of us, our running games are our strength. They did a good job of passing it there at the end of the half. But I felt good about our kids, you know, being able to control the ball. We overcame a big holding penalty on that second drive, and we've had 2 12-play drives for touchdowns, and I'm proud of our execution, and I'm proud of the way our defense has played. We made a goal line stand down there and then drove it in for a touchdown, and then we've played them tough. You know, we haven't given up the big play. And look, they've got some playmakers on that side of the ball.
Eubanks has been really impressive running the football from the quarterback position. And what's been really important, our guys have been talking about it up there, is the lead blockers, the blocking you get from the offensive line, the blocks that you're getting from your backfield. They've been paving the way. There have been some big holes out there this afternoon.
Well, so far those guys are doing their job. You know, we've got some new guys. We had to replace 4 guys on the offensive line. So, you know, right now we've liked what we've seen, but we've got to see if we can put it together and come out after halftime and do the same thing.
I told you walking over here, this is a totally different looking football team than a couple of years ago when you first got there. Big and physical. I think that's the first thing, just watching you guys warm up, and certainly your playing style is like that also.
Well, it has. You know, we adopted a year ago. We decided we needed to do what fit the style of kids that we had in our community the best, and, you know, lining up with big, strong, how do they, cornbread-fed kids. I mean, our kids like physical football, and this fits us to a T.
Coach, good luck in the second half. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Scott Martin, head coach of the Ohatchee Indians, in a great ball game here at halftime.
All right, thanks, John. And great comments there from Coach Martin. 13-13, our halftime score. Gerhard and I will return. We'll chat about the first half, look ahead to the rest of the schedule for the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree. Stay with us.
TV 24's coverage of the Calhoun County Spring Jam is by Oxford Secure Storage and by Dorsey Supermarket.
Oxford Secure Storage has now expanded with over 140 units. Oxford Secure Storage now has the largest selection of climate-controlled units in the area. All sizes, both climate and non-climate controlled units, are available with state-of-the-art amenities. All access ways are paved and under 24-hour high-tech surveillance. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you through the entire rental process. Come see for yourself the extra measures Oxford Secure Storage takes for your security.
For the finest quality foods and hundreds of specials every week, shop at Dorsey's Supermarket in downtown Oxford. Dorsey's has been your home for the highest quality and freshest meat in town since 1985, and nobody beats their famous Pick 5 deal. Mix and match your 5 favorite meat selections and pay only $19.99. And now you can enjoy your meat fresh out of the smoker. Pick up your smoked butts, ribs, or wings today. Dorsey's Supermarket, Main Street in Oxford.
Hi, my name is Reverend Jeffrey C. Williams, the owner and licensed funeral director of Anderson Funeral Services. At Anderson Funeral Services, we are compassionate and caring individuals committed to providing quality and professional service at affordable prices. We are where service begins and never ends, and love is what love does.
Aniston Funeral Services offers affordable services to meet any need for all families. Aniston Funeral Services, 630 South Wilmer Avenue, where service begins and never ends.
I am Welburn.
Estoy en Welburn.
I am Welburn.
I am Welburn.
I am Welburn.
I am Welburn. I am Welburn.
I am Welburn.
I am Welburn.
I am Welburn.
I am Welburn.
We are Welburn.
TV 24's coverage of the Calhoun County Spring Jam is brought to you by Oxford Secure Storage and by Dorsey Supermarket.
And a look at JSU Stadium here at the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree 2016. This is game 1. There you see our halftime score. Welburn and Ohatchee, outstanding first half. 13-13, all knotted up, each team with 2 scores here in our first half. Coming up after this game, around 7:30, somewhere in that area, it'll be Alexandria and Weaver. And by the way, we'll go ahead and tell you, in case you haven't heard, the other 2 games of the Jamboree that were originally scheduled for Friday night have been moved to Saturday because of the threat of rain tomorrow. So on Saturday at noon, you'll have Sax and Weaver, or Sax and White Plains kicking off, and then around 3 o'clock, it'll be Pleasant Valley, which is the host school of the Jamboree this year, taking on Pisgah, which is the, I guess you could say, the invited team into the Calhoun County Spring Jam this season. Hey, let's see a look at some of the Welburn players. getting some sun here. It is a hot, warm day, or Weaver, I should say, a hot day here. As John mentioned at kickoff, we were a little above 80 degrees. And but still, though, and there you see a fan with an umbrella staying out of the sun. And we talked about conditioning possibly being an issue in the first game here this afternoon, but so far so good in the first half for both teams, I think, in that area.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what Coach Scott Martin alluded to John earlier, is that they wanted to get some of the guys that could fit their kind of offense, and he gave it the label the corn-fed bread. But another thing that I've seen is that this team runs really well along the outside. You're seeing a lot of this offensive linemen that are pulling, and it speaks to their conditioning. So not only are they hitting the weight room, but they're conditioned also well. So a lot of respiratory health issues that would show up, they haven't shown up. Cramping issues that would show up, they haven't shown up. So far, so good here for both teams, especially there for Ohatchee, who you heard from earlier.
Taking about a 15-minute halftime break here, and while we've got a break, Gerhard, let's show some footage from last Saturday. This is a look at the Welburn football team, kind of out doing a little community goodwill, if you will. They are at Food Outlet assisting with customers taking food to their car, and they also spent some time at Downing Medical assisting customers there. They assisted the Hewlett Baptist Church in their cleanup day on Saturday. So Coach Smith had his entire team. The cheerleaders were involved. They put in a long work day last Saturday.
Absolutely, and they're all about community, and they told us that just after their big day in the community.
And after the players got done, Coach Smith said they all were fed at first-class pizza and subs out on Highway 202 in the Welburn area. All right, so again, great shot here of JSU Stadium, a beautiful day for high school football.
Absolutely. We talked about that Welburn community event earlier in the year. We also got a chance to catch up with some of them at different areas as they served at their community at Downey Drugs, Hewlett Baptist, and Food Outlet. And I hear that video is ready.
Today we're just giving back to the community. You know, it's a lot of people that come out and they barely can't walk to get up to our games, but they make it somehow. And we're just giving back to them. It don't cost nothing. They ask for donations. We don't want donations. We're just giving back today.
We love people coming out and watching our games, and this is the first time we've did this before. And he brought it forward in our leadership meeting, and we all were just jumped on board on top of it.
It's always a great opportunity to give back. We just like to not forget where we came from.
Right. And they provide so much for us that it's good to give back to them.
Welburn's a special place, and I think if you're not from here, you really don't realize it. But you know, we're all about each other, and Welburn people will rally up and help each other faster than any group of people I've ever been around. As a former player and as a coach right there, I just want us to give back and let everybody know how much we appreciate them and thank them for all the support that they've done over the years for the team.
Some of the guys you heard from, including Kane Pitts and Jordan Montgomery, two of the main playmakers that you're seeing out here. And one of the things that they all said in their interviews was that people thought maybe this was for donations or what. They didn't do it for anything. They didn't do it for any money. Even donations that were offered weren't accepted. This was just to get out into the community. They take a lot of pride in that, and you heard that from head coach Jeff Smith as well as the cheerleaders. So this is a huge community event. And from what I gathered, this was brought to the leadership program at Welburn. The leadership guys that are the seniors, some of the captains, some of the guys that help lead the program, lead the school, all said yes. They jumped on the opportunity. They made it happen. It was a great day last Saturday in the Welburn community.
And, you know, these are a lot of coaches around our area value experiences like that for their team bonding type things, if you will. And we appreciate Coach Smith letting us know about this because we wanted to bring you that information because a lot of those things go unnoticed, and not that Welburn or any other school or team is looking for exposure, but we thought it was said a lot about the type of program and the type of community at Welburn.
Exactly, and those were one of the things that we stumbled on, and we found out, hey, this is a great thing. It's a great thing that this community is doing, and like you said, so many others do that, and it speaks to the community aspects that we have here in the Calhoun County area, and you see that across the entire area, and especially now at football playing schools like at Welburn.
All right, well, we've just got 2 or 3 more minutes left in our halftime. Both teams will be back on the field momentarily for their warm-ups to get ready for the second half of Welburn and Ohatchee. We will continue with our live coverage of the Calhoun County Spring Jam after this time.
For over 15 years, Mizell Heating and Air Conditioning has provided superior year-round comfort for you and your family. And no matter what kind of system you have, now is a great time for a tune-up to make sure it runs smoothly all season long. And if it's time for a new one, we're the Rheem team, offering energy-efficient Rheem heating and cooling systems that will save you money on your energy bills every month. From service calls to a complete replacement, you can count on Mizell Heating and Air Conditioning to do it right. First time, every time.
Water is in a bit of trouble. Suspected of carrying harmful pollutants into community storm drains, stormwater faces a serious problem. When it rains, dirt, motor oil, excess fertilizer, and trash are washed into rivers, lakes, and streams. And a clean raindrop becomes an unwilling accomplice in the problem of water pollution. It's up to each of us to do our part. Visit cleanwatercampaign.com to learn more. Help protect our water.
For the finest quality foods and hundreds of specials every week, shop at Dorsey's Supermarket in downtown Oxford. Dorsey's has been your home for the highest quality and freshest meat in town since 1985, and nobody beats their famous Pick 5 deal. Mix and match your 5 favorite meat selections and pay only $19.99. And now you can enjoy your meat fresh out of the smoker. Pick up your smoked butts, ribs, or wings today. Dorsey's Supermarket, Main Street in Oxford. TV 24's coverage of the Calhoun County Spring Jam is brought to you by Oxford Secure Storage and by Dorsey's Supermarket.
And a good shot of Houston Cole Library, kind of a centerpiece here at the campus of Jacksonville State University. And we are at JSU Stadium for Game 1 of the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree. The halftime score, Ohatchee and Welburn. A very entertaining first half here, 13-13. The teams look like they're in mid-season form. And in the first half, kind of a scoring recap, you had Ohatchee's Jesse Sellers with 2 short touchdown runs for Ohatchee. Meanwhile, the scoring for Welburn, they got a 3-yard touchdown run from Ked Harris and a 17-yard touchdown pass from McQueen to Jordan Montgomery. Each team made an extra point and missed an extra point, so that is where things stand at halftime. 13-13.
Absolutely. Talked about how both these teams will play another challenging schedule, and both these teams are back again after reclassification, right there with one another in Class 3A Region 5, so they'll see each other once again. Take a look here at the Welburn Panthers schedule. They will be open that first week, and then they'll play Sacs Week 1 at Sacs. That has become a phenomenal game over the last couple of years. Welburn won that game last year. Then they go to Pleasant Valley. And then a game against Weaver, their first home game. And then off on the 16th, then they'll play Talladega in that Week 5 non-region game. And then the big one that we talked about earlier against these Ohatchee Indians. After that, they'll take on Piedmont, Glencoe, and then Randolph County. And then hopefully after that, Jeff Smith is back in the postseason for the 8th straight year.
Again, we mentioned in the open Jeff Smith with 7 straight trips to the playoffs. That is something Ohatchee hopes they can pull off this year, Gerhard.
Absolutely. 1-4 2 years ago, won 4 games last year, and they're hoping to build on that this year. They will also play Randolph County and Raglan. Raglan starts the season, and then White Plains, and then they'll play at Randolph County, Pleasant Valley, Weaver, Asheville, and then these Welburn Panthers coming up on September 30th, just over 4 months away. Open on October 7th. They'll take on defending 3A state champion Piedmont, and then Glencoe, and then at Pisgah. Pisgah is a team that you'll see later on here in this Calhoun County Spring Jamboree. They're one of the teams that will get to play in this Calhoun County Spring Jamboree. They will play Pleasant Valley coming up tomorrow, or Saturday, I should say.
All right, both teams are out on the field finishing up their warm-ups. We'll take one more break and come back with the second half of Welburn and Ohatchee at the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree from JSU Stadium.
Oxford Secure Storage has now expanded with over 140 units. Oxford Secure Storage now has the largest selection of climate-controlled units in the area. All sizes, both climate and non-climate controlled units, are available with state-of-the-art amenities. All access ways are paved and under 24-hour high-tech surveillance. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you through the entire rental process. Come see for yourself the extra measures Oxford Secure Storage takes for your security.
For the finest quality foods and hundreds of specials every week, shop at Dorsey's Supermarket in downtown Oxford. Dorsey's has been your home for the highest quality and freshest meat in town since 1985, and nobody beats their famous Pick 5 deal. Mix and match your 5 favorite meat selections and pay only $19.99. And now you can enjoy your meat fresh out of the smoker. Pick up your smoked butts, ribs, or wings today. Dorsey's Supermarket, Main Street in Oxford.
And back at the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree at JSU Stadium. Our game this afternoon is brought to you by Tony Sarah Ford in Sylacauga. Huge sale going on this week. If you're in the market for a new car, truck, or van, go check out Tony Sarah Ford, a sponsor of the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree 2016. Mickey Shadricks and Gerhard Mathangani with you in the booth for the second half of this game coming up momentarily. John Holder is down on the field, and John came up just a moment ago, and we were just kind of chatting, and I think, you know, we're kind of used to Welburn, the success they've had, 7 years straight of playoff appearances. But I think we're all in agreement that the Ohatchee Indians look for real this year. I think clearly that the foundation of this program with Coach Martin has clearly been laid in the last couple of years, and I really love what he said to John at halftime. And this is a comment you really gotta pull out and really give him credit for. He made the comment that they're doing what they think is best based on the type of kids they have in his community. In other words, he's doing the best he can with the hand he's been dealt, and he's not trying to force a system on the kids. He's taking the kids and building a system that they can be successful at. And that's what good coaches do.
Absolutely. You're able to be versatile. You're able to adjust what you do based on your personnel, because it's not college football. It's not the NFL where you're recruiting in one and you're drafting in the other. You're taking the ones that are in the community that you already have, get them excited about football is number one, find out their skill set, number two, and then tailor what you do to their skill set. And so far, he's done a really good job, and it's a building process. And this is the third year into that building process. It looks like the numbers are still strong, and so far, so good. They're going toe-to-toe with a team that we could see in the third round of the playoffs, the Welburn Panthers. So it's a good litmus test for Ohatchee, and so far they're passing it.
And just to mention the rules again, we talked about these at the beginning of this game. The Calhoun County Spring Jamboree, the main rules are they're 4-quarter games, and the first 3 quarters are 12-minute varsity quarters. Then the fourth 12-minute quarter will be an opportunity for the teams to play some of their younger players, whether they be B team or junior varsity players. So essentially we're looking at 12 more minutes of this game. So and the way these teams operated in the first half, it could go fast. We had some long time-consuming drives, not a lot of possessions in that first half, only 2 or 3 possessions apiece, or 3 possessions apiece. So the way this, you know, coaches say it all the time, the first 5 minutes of the second half. Well, this is essentially the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter coming up right now. So Ohatchee will get the football to start the quarter as Welburn will kick off. And again, the kicking game for the first 3 quarters is live. Kicking game is not live in the fourth quarter.
It's a good chance to get everybody acclimated to what their role is on special teams, especially things like punting. We haven't seen that, obviously, but punting, kickoffs, kickoff return, some of these positions where you have some of your every down players not playing in the games, which guys can you plug in here? And that's the benefit of running live special teams.
And Harris gets a boot into it, fielded at the 15-yard line by Widgeon. And Ohatchee with a huge kickoff return. Widgeon is going to take it the distance for the touchdown on the second half kickoff.
Just like that, getting back on the scoreboard. And I'll tell you what, with each and every passing moment, I've been more and more impressed with this unit. And you talked about it earlier, about how Ohatchee was able to gain a lot of ground on these kickoffs, and they're just perfect blocking up front, finds the wedge, he hits it, and he's just faster than all the Welburn players. He gets out there and comes up with a big touchdown. Just watch the blocking up front is great, and then he's able to break one tackle and then just outrun everybody else and creates a separation there at the end, and Widgeon into the end zone.
And, you know, we talked about how we haven't had any big plays in this game. It's all been time-consuming drives. Well, there's our first big play of the game.
I always say the most exciting play in football is the kickoff return for a touchdown. So the law of averages is at work here. Not a lot of big plays in the first half. Come with the biggest play there in the second half.
And, you know, it just shows you the irony because you saw how hard it was to score in that first half. These long, time-consuming drives with a lot of plays, and then, boom, you score on a kickoff return. A huge momentum boost in the second half for Ohatchee. The extra point is blocked, so extra point troubles continue for both teams. That's been about the only blemish I've seen on either team is just the extra point. So the score will remain 19-13 as we see the block here. And Jamisio Elston, the big guy, did he get it? He sure did.
Yep, right there on that shoulder pad there on the right. It's a great shot by our camera crew. He's a very, very versatile guy. They use him every down on defense. And then we've talked about him in isolation when they go to their heavy package. So far, there's been a big decoy on those heavy packages. They run to the opposite side, but he's a heck of a football player, heck of a talent for head coach Jeff Smith, and those plays are big. You go in game situations, and he is able to get one or two blocks. That could be the difference in one or two possessions in every game. So those things should not be taken for granted.
And there's a young man that can do it to you if you're not careful. Jordan Montgomery, who had a 17-yard touchdown reception late in the first half that tied the game. And he is a threat to bring it back on you every time. So here's the kick from Christian Finch. A squibber on the ground that goes past Harris. And so Harris will pick it up and step out of bounds at the 18. So total opposite for Welburn here on the kickoff is they can't even get it filled cleanly, and they'll start from inside their own 20.
I wasn't in their huddle, so I don't know if they're doing this on purpose, but it looks like they're trying to kick away from Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah, I bet it is on purpose.
Yeah, because they got to him one time back in the first half, and he was able to get to a few yards, but they understand the kind of talent that this guy has, and so they get it away from him, and then they still end up with essentially what would be the result after a touchback there with the field position that they got.
So here's Welburn, first offensive possession, second half. McQueen keeps it over the left side, takes a shot from Ohatchee's Jalen Jenkins as he's out across the 20 to the 21 for a gain of 3.
One of the keys to the game, obviously, for this Welburn offense was try to run the football with different people. They've done that. And one of the things for the Ohatchee defense was don't let more than 2 or 3 guys kill you. And one of those guys is Austin McQueen. And so far, they've done a really good job whenever McQueen tries to run the football. McQueen's a heck of a thrower, but so far they've bottomed him up when he tries to run those quarterbacks.
Second down and 7. Harris hands it back off to Montgomery. Huge gaping hole up the middle. First down and much more. Jordan Montgomery rumbles out to the 33-yard line for a gain of 11.
They do this a lot. It's a double handoff, one to the outside and then come back on the inside. And for a lot of teams, this might look like a mini reverse or a double reverse, but this is a part of their staple offense there. They run kind of a variation of a wing T every now and again, and they'll put Jordan Montgomery and also Harris at those wing positions, and at any point in time, they can get the football crossing back under the formation.
First down play. Here is Harris. Nice running. Oh, a flag back at the line of scrimmage. We had one flag in the first half, a holding call against Ohatchee, and it looks as though this one is coming back as the flag is at the 32-yard line, right at the line of scrimmage.
It looks just like in the area of either one of the guys that's on the outside or maybe a wide receiver. That was thrown from the side judge, and he threw it out just about as fast as Harris got across the line of scrimmage.
Okay, sideline warning against Welburn. So the play will stand. There you see the Welburn sideline. So that'll the play will stand. So it'll be first down at the Ohatchee 35. Panthers can live with that call.
Yeah, they can. I'm pretty sure that's not the first time that's happened, and I'm pretty sure it won't be the last time they get a sideline warning.
So the Panthers trying to answer here in the early going of the third quarter. Ohatchee broke the tie with the kickoff return to start the third quarter. Pitch to Harris, and Harris gets a nice block, cuts it up inside, and he is downfield to the 22 for a gain of 8. So a nice play on first down.
It's a quick toss here. Keep your eye out on 52. Just does a nice job of sealing out the edge, and Jack Chandler, big 52, is the one that helps spring that block open, but they like to get the ball on the outside and quickly, and whenever they do so with either Ked Harris or Pat Harris, you always see an offensive lineman that's out there with it, and that's just credit to the big guys that can block along the outside. Really keeps the offense in balance.
And we have a timeout called here by Ohatchee, and it comes with 10:09 left in the third quarter. And the Indians trying to catch their breath here as Welburn executing very nicely here so far on this drive. They try to answer the Ohatchee kickoff return that went for a touchdown. Coming up, our second game. What do you think about Alexandria and Weaver? Of course, we all know how far Alexandria went last year. Weaver got in the playoffs, and boy, they gave Madison Academy a scare, at least early in the goings of that playoff game. Weaver's got a lot of athletes. Alexandria's got some guys returning, even though they're going to be missing some of their big playmakers in the game tonight.
Absolutely, and one of the things that was the staple for Alexandria's team last year was a big physical line up front. Graduated a lot of those guys, the guys like Dakota Sams, who will go on to play in the North-South All-Star game, along with his head coach, Frank Tucker, who will coach in the North-South All-Star game, be the head coach of that game. They were yards away from a berth in the state championship game. They lose their quarterback, Luke Tucker, so we'll see what the Valley Cubs and Bearcats have.
McQueen gives it up the middle. First carry for Kane Pitts. He had a reception in the first half and picks up about 2 yards. They'll mark it just inside the 20, so it'll be second down. We'll call it a long 7.
One of the things I like about Welburn is they don't have signs that come in from the outside. They run old school style football between plays. They get a play call from a receiver, quarterback, running back. They'll call it in a traditional style.
Boy, Jalen Booker's got single coverage over there, but they go back to the running game. Pat Harris, and Harris stays on his feet. Good hard running down to about the 11-yard line. He should have a first down as Harris took some shots here, but watch him keep those legs moving.
It's a great job there, and when he does keep those legs moving, he's able to break one tackle and gain some extra yards. That's the staple of the way that Welburn likes to run the football. And you saw there at the beginning of the play, they had the fake to Ked Harris and then the run to the outside with their running back, and they do that a lot, and they really keep the defenses honest whenever you're able to run both inside the tackles and outside the tackles. And then when you have a guy like McQueen, the guy that can put it in the air, I would not be one bit surprised to see somebody sneak out, get out to the outside or maybe even to the inside and try to get something going in the passing game.
First down at the 12, and first carry for Austin McQueen on the carry, I should say, and he is down near another first down as McQueen just took the snap, followed his blocks, and picked up about 10 yards.
It's the first time he's had really a lot of running room to work with. They've done a good job of bottling him up. They usually run him in short yardage situations. We've seen him twice, maybe 3 times on a 4th or 3rd and short, able to get a first down via the quarterback sneak. That was the first time they got him along the outside and really ran him much like they run all the other running backs. He's able to gain some yards there. the staple of this offense, we talked about it time and time again, is running the football, and they like to do it with so many different guys. And so far, we've seen a handful of guys get the job done for the Panthers.
2nd down and 1, and the football's loose, and let's see, Ohatchee says they have it, and they do. Huge turnover by Welburn in the red zone, and I think it came on the center quarterback exchange, as we'll get another look at it, and indeed that's what happened. Just they didn't field the snap cleanly, and it cost them.
Eric Good is the guy that came up with it, but that's exactly what happened there. I don't know what the specific call there was for Welburn, but just as McQueen tried to get the ball and either hand it off or take off with it, unable to gather it, and a great job there by Good. Opportunistic defense, gets on top of the football.
And again, about a 4.5-minute drive ends with a turnover inside the 5. So the Welburn defense now with you know what their mission here is? 3 and out, get that thing right back, because that is a frustrating turnover for the Panther offense.
Second time that's happened inside the 15-yard line, where they get down there and they turn it over once on downs and then on a fumble. And in a real game, that's potentially 14 points.
Here is the handoff to Tucker. Cuts it back up inside, runs into Jalen Booker. But a nice cutback by Austin Tucker. And he is very close to a first down. He is about a yard short at the 12-yard line. So a big 3rd and 1 coming up here.
So far, this Ohatchee offense has been very, very content with establishing the run. They've thrown the ball really one time downfield, and that was after the turnover on downs and got a big play earlier. But so far, no panic. When they get in 2nd and 3rd situations, 2nd and short, they just go to their ground game.
Here's the handoff to Tucker, and he's got it. Fights his way forward to the 15-yard line, and an Ohatchee first down.
Just right here, the same kind of running. They're pulling their big guy, 62, Caleb Montgomery. We've seen that time and time again so far. And with him as the lead blocker, they're able to pick up the first down and a fresh set of downs. And that's huge for this offense, not giving the football back to Welburn after creating the turnover, or after getting the turnover and falling on the football.
And again, it's the 3rd quarter, but basically the last varsity quarter. So we're basically in the last 6.5 minutes of this game, really. Here comes the handoff to number 2, Sellers, and he's out to about the 18-yard line. Nice job of the Welburn defense stringing that play out, holding the gain to about 3 yards.
Looks like a penalty flag there came from the back judge, but he threw it towards the line of scrimmage. So we'll see what this is. They'll be holding on the offense here. So after gaining some yards and getting the first down, they'll back the football back, and they'll be behind the chains once again.
Yeah, this could be a potentially huge penalty here. This will aid the Welburn defense's cause dramatically now, as they'll mark this back to the 7-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 18. Ohatchee overcame a big holding penalty in the first half on one of their scoring drives, but they had a little better field position where they did it. Here they're backed up inside their own 10. Welburn basically with 11 guys at the line of scrimmage. Eubanks takes the snap, gets a great block up the middle, and Eubanks tripped up at the 20, falls forward to about the 22, but it took the last line of defense to knock him off his feet as Eubanks got all the way into the Welburn secondary, Gerhard, and the last man here that got him, that could have got him, did get him, Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah, it's a good job by Jordan Montgomery really saving the touchdown there, but we're seeing time and time again what they like to do offensively. They have to respect Tucker because Tucker is so good on the outside and he's so fast he can get there. But what a lot of times you try to do is create just a little bit of separation for your quarterback. He's able to go right in there and make the run there for the offense.
And here's the pitch to Tucker, trying to get to the edge and ducks his head and runs into Dalton Epps and didn't get much, but may have his first down. And what's really impressive to me is Ohatchee's really doing this without a passing threat. Have they even thrown the ball?
Outside of that one time after the turnover on downs, they haven't passed the ball. I don't think they put the ball in the air once, not even on a screen route. And that's exactly what the staple of this offense has been about running the football. And so far so good, and they've done it both ways, and that's the reason why if you're a defense trying to game plan against Ohatchee, you have to be alignment and assignment based because they don't run the same things to the same spots.
They stretch the chains out, and it's just short. So that'll make it 3rd and inches at about the 24-yard line. You know, 5:09 left here in our 3rd quarter. So they could give up one more first down, Gerhard, but I don't think they can give up much more than that. Obviously, Welburn would like to stop them here and get it back. And so this is another big 3rd down play coming up.
Absolutely. You know, the Ohatchee coaches want to make another drive reminiscent of the other 2 or 3 drives that they've had in this game where they get down the field and put the ball in the end zone after a very long drive. And it really kind of starts with plays like this here on these short yardage situations, and they look the exact same way as they did in that first quarter with that big heavy package up front.
Eubanks takes the snap, hands it off to Tucker. Slips down, but he got the first down. Good blocking at the point of attack for Ohatchee. Welburn unable to get any penetration, and so the Indians pick up about 1.5 yards and a first down at the 26.
It's almost a chess match here, and a lot of these plays look similar, but they do it in so many different ways. They've run Eubanks to the outside. They've ran Taylor to the outside. They've also ran Eubanks to the inside and Taylor to the inside. And so an offense that predicates on the run, you would think would have so many or so few different combinations, but so far they've been running the football in versatile ways.
So 1st and 10, and Eubanks to throw. Passes away and complete. On the receiving end, Jalen Jenkins, and he takes it all the way out. Or correction, that was number 40, Owen Hale. He takes it out to the 40-yard line. So we just mentioned earlier, they haven't thrown the ball. I think maybe that's just their 2nd pass, but that was a very well executed play.
Exactly, 2nd pass all game long, and you see where he's lined up. They throw the ball to these wingbacks they're offset and they're in a 3-point stance. And so they look like blockers, but a lot of times they can be used here in the passing game and used to perfection right there. And now Ohatchee doing a pretty good job here of now milking the clock and making sure that the varsity for Welburn has no time or very, very little time.
Here's the handoff to Tucker. Cuts it inside his right tackle and picks up a couple of yards before he is met by Welburn's Walker Hayes. So again, the time becoming a big factor. Under 4 minutes to play in the 3rd and final varsity quarter.
They don't give out the most improved team here, but you could probably say without a shadow of a doubt, so far, this Ohatchee offense and the defense, a lot of bright spots for Coach Scott Martin as they look ahead.
Eubanks keeps it himself. Nice tackle there by Welburn's Jalen Booker, or that play would have went for much more yardage. Instead, it's a gain of about 3 to the 46. So now here we are in another 3rd down. And Gerhard, this is a crucial 3rd down for the Welburn defense now.
Right. This is one that could potentially either put your offense back on the field and you can run once again your 2-minute offense and try to get another score on right before the end of the half, or this could be one that sustains this drive and continues to keep that defense onto the field. Seeing the instructions there by head coach Jeff Smith to his defensive unit, and you have to know what he's talking about right now is being able to secure the line of scrimmage, get to the football, and the first guy make the tackle. So far, what's been killing them is these missed tackles on Eubanks as well as on Austin Tucker. But give a lot of credit to what Ohatchee's done so far on offense, because from the offensive line to the quarterback to the running back, and the very few times they put the ball in the air, they're executing to perfection.
So 3rd and 4 coming up. And another advantage for Ohatchee is they've been able to pick up a few first downs and gain some field position. So now even if they did have to punt, have an opportunity to make Welburn have to go a long way to score. And as you mentioned a moment ago, we haven't even had a punt in this game so far. So 3rd and 4. Eubanks gives it to Tucker, and he has nowhere to go. And number 16, Walker Hayes, has had himself a fine game. He has come up with a big play right there as he got penetration behind the line of scrimmage. Play loses about 1.5 yards, so it's 4th down for Ohatchee.
This is what happens when you don't have a true wide receiver threat. Your corners can come up and be extra run support. And Walker Hayes, so far, he hasn't had a lot of guys to guard on the outside there. They haven't put a lot of guys out there, so he's doing a good job of helping protect that edge. And he's a physical cornerback for this Welburn football team. And he and Pat Harris are the two guys they rely on in coverage situations, with Jordan Montgomery being the one high safety. There ain't no teams like Ohatchee like to run the football, so you like to stack the box on the inside, get about 6, 7, 8 helmets from tackle to tackle. So you really count on guys like Walker Hayes to make big plays along the outside, and he did there just fine. And as they look now, stare down the barrel of a 4th down here, they'll call timeout and look at this one over.
Ohatchee clearly treating this as though this is the final quarter, and it is for the varsity players, so they just let as much clock run down as possible, call the timeout, and they'll be surprised if they don't come out and punt the football here. But the Welburn defense has given its offense a chance to get it back, and they scored with under 2 minutes to play left in the first half. They had a great drive, and really there were only 2 running plays in that drive and then several passing plays. So Welburn has already proven they're very capable in their 2-minute drill. So we've got some, should be interesting over the next 2:24.
It's a good look there at number 14 and number 3. You keep up with Ohatchee football, these are the 2 guys that will make a huge difference. And these guys have been in the backfield there for at least 3 years now as starters.
And no punt formation.
Right. They'll go for it here.
4th and 6. Here's to give to Sellers. Breaks 1 tackle, and he will not get there. So how about that call? Coach Martin electing not to punt. Goes for it on 4th and 6 from his own, inside his own 45-yard line, and the Welburn defense comes up with a huge stop.
Almost ran exactly what Welburn ran on their last possession, that double handoff to the inside. You called it. That was a very interesting play call there, and now we'll see if the defense, with all 11 guys playing now in their own territory, can come up with a big stop here with 2:16 to play.
And good field position at the Ohatchee 48. Montgomery and Booker split to the left. McQueen rolls out to throw. Jordan Montgomery made a great catch at the 41. He took a shot from Grayson Allward and did a good job just to hold on to the football for a gain of about 8 yards.
He did, and we talked about his versatility. He caught a touchdown pass earlier. He's been on the jet sweeps. He's also taken the ball out of the backfield on the double handoff. And we talked earlier about cramps, and it looks like he's favoring that left calf. He's wearing one of those sleeves on his calf that helps the blood flow there. I'm guessing he's had some issues with that. He'll stay in the game here on 2nd and short.
Well, he hasn't left the field, and it has been a hot afternoon here. And nothing doing at all as they elect to give the football to Kane Pitts. Pitts couldn't get outside. Ohatchee with a good stop on the corner, so that'll bring up 3rd down.
Jesse Sellers here, number 2 for Ohatchee. Watch him come up with the big play here. They string this thing out. Let's also give the quarterback some credit. It's a tough quarterback right there. And Taylor Eubanks coming up, big number 14 with a tackle there from his middle linebacker spot. Stretch that thing out. That's exactly how you want to play that.
Here comes the blitz. McQueen rolls out. Gets the pass away. It's caught by Montgomery. Montgomery inside the 30. 1st down, Welburn at the 28. That'll stop the clock momentarily with exactly 1 minute to play.
We talked about how he stayed in the game earlier. He looks like he might come out of this play, but no, he'll stay in there again. What a tough football player he is. It's another shot at him because he's taken 2 big licks there to his leg. I don't know if that's muscle or if that's something different, but he's electing to stay out there and making big plays for his offense.
They need 6 points, and they don't want to take number 6 off the field either. McQueen going deep for Montgomery and overthrows him in the end zone. And I think maybe that gimpy leg cost him a little bit of yardage there. He might have been able to run under that one. As you can see, he's clearly struggling.
Absolutely. And, Austin, you could tell that that's a route that they've worked on so many times because McQueen put it on a spot. And he put it on a spot where 100% Jordan Montgomery probably goes up and catches that football. But with his leg in the condition that he's in right now, he's about a half a step behind, and pretty good coverage there by Ohatchee. Well thrown ball, but incomplete there for the Panthers.
McQueen gets the pass away. Booker makes the catch at the 10, taken down by Chase Widgeon. Boy, that pass hung up there for a while. Thought it might be intercepted, but it looks like this is coming back due to a penalty.
Yep, and we talked about Chase Widgeon, and it looks like they might call offensive pass interference here. It's a great shot by our guys. We'll see what they call. It's in the realm of holding, but it looks like they could have called offensive pass interference. They'll call holding here on the offense, so this play will come back for Welburn. This is a huge penalty here for the Panthers. But watch, you talked about how it hangs in the air, and Wigton he couldn't judge it the way he wanted to, and Jalen Booker ends up coming out with a football. But somewhere along the offensive line there was holding, and the Panthers are starting way behind the chains.
Almost back where they started the drive at the 44. They started the drive at the 48. Instead of first and goal inside the 10, they're back at their 48. Jordan Montgomery goes up, makes a great catch, but the pass a little high, so he lost his footing. The coverage back there was soft by Cam McCombs, and a timeout on the field by Welburn. Stopping the clock with 15 seconds. So, yeah, that holding penalty there, Gerhard, clearly a game changer.
That's the difference in getting the first down and being in great position with 15 seconds to play, where you have at least 2 shots at the end zone. And now you're sitting at about the 27-yard line. And really this first play, I would think that if you want to play 2 short plays and you can go the little out route or something to the outside that gets to the ball out of bounds and then go to the end zone on that second play. Here, John's downstairs. We'll go to him. John?
All right, guys, we're on the Ohatchee sideline, as we mentioned earlier. Going to throw out some Core Sports T-shirts. So, ladies from Ohatchee, let's throw them out in 3, 2, 1. And there go the Ohatchee cheerleaders with our Core Sports touchdown T-shirts, guys.
Compliments of Dr. Clinton Ray and Dr. Jeffrey Lawler, big Pigskin Roundup sponsors every year, and our T-shirt, exclusive T-shirt sponsor as well again this year, Core Sports Medicine, located down on Highway 78 in Oxford.
We've seen both mascots here. This is full game day right here.
Yeah, it is.
And those mascot uniforms have to be really hot.
3rd and 10. Here comes the pressure. Passes away, and it's picked off by Ohatchee in the end zone, and that should do it. Number 6, Grayson Allward, was playing center field, and the pass intended once again for Jalen Booker. Boy, you talk about being in the right spot. That's exactly the way you coach that free safety in this kind of situation. He is the last line of defense and made the catch with 8 seconds left. So Ohatchee can snap it once, and that will end the varsity portion of this game.
There are actually more Panthers back in the end zone than there were Indians. And great play there by the defense. And you take a look now. I know this is the last time we'll see this varsity unit out here. We'll see them again come late August. But, wow, I am super impressed by the defense. Came up with 2 big turnovers in the red zone. The offense has looked spectacular with 2 great drives. And then the special teams unit coming through with a touchdown. Across the board, lots to be excited about for Ohatchee.
And that'll do it. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Once again, the rules this year, 3 varsity quarters, and the 4th quarter will be made up of B team and JV players. So Welburn and Ohatchee wrap up the varsity portion, with Ohatchee essentially winning this matchup by a final score of 19-13. Outstanding showing for the Indians, and really the difference in this game, just a few more errors by Welburn. They had crucial holding penalty, and then they had the turnover there where they were inside the Ohatchee 5-yard line. Other than that, it's pretty much an even football game. We'll take a break, come back with The fourth quarter with some of the younger players. We continue from JSU Stadium.
My name is Reverend Jeffrey C. Williams, the owner and licensed funeral director of Anderson Funeral Services. At Anderson Funeral Services, we are compassionate and caring individuals committed to providing quality and professional service at affordable prices. We are where service begins and never ends, and love is what love does.
Aniston Funeral Services offers affordable services to meet any need for all families. Aniston Funeral Services, 630 South Wilmer Avenue, where service begins and never ends.
I am Welburn.
Estoy en Welburn.
I am Welburn.
I am Welburn.
I am Welburn.
I am Welburn. I am Welburn.
I am Welburn.
I am Welburn.
I am Welburn.
I am Welburn.
We are Welburn.
TV 24's coverage of the Calhoun County Spring Jam is brought to you by Oxford Secure Storage and by Dorsey Supermarket.
And I tell you, we need to go tell that person that they need to come down the mountain from Chimney Peak and come inside JSU Stadium. They can see much better from here than way up there. That is a shot of Chimney Peak. As we pull back there, you can see this is our view from JSU Stadium. Oh, that's a nice zoom shot right there.
Oh, yeah. Always provides an incredible backdrop here, both with Jacksonville State games and then also for our high school football spring games. Here at JSU Stadium as the younger guys come onto the field, 19-13, your final score for the varsity unit. Looks like they'll keep that number on the scoreboard here as the JV units come out to play with Ohatchee in possession.
New quarterback in the game for Ohatchee, number 6, Grayson Allward. And the handoff is to number 44, Cam McCombs. Some of these guys played in the varsity portion, will be in different positions, and then some of the younger guys who haven't played on the field right now. So we'll try to get the correct names and numbers for you. And I think this is a regular 12-minute quarter that we will play. Once again, the handoff is to McCombs. He sweeps around the right side, tackled by Jordan Booker of Walter Welburn, a gain of about 4, so it's third down and very short now for Ohatchee.
You mentioned a lot of these guys got a little bit of look there in the first half, and now a full-fledged quarter to come out and impress the coaches. And I always think this part of the spring game is almost some of the most fun here. I'll tell you up to this third down.
And it is a first down here as Grayson Allward took the snap. Very patient, waited for his hole to open up, scampered forward for 5 yards to the 45-yard line.
Reason being that a lot of these guys that are some of the younger guys will get a chance to play on Mondays, Tuesdays, whenever the JV plays. But the coaches in this situation are looking for guys that can help them out on Friday night, special teams, whether they can be a solid backup for a guy that gets hurt. So in a lot of cases, a lot of the positions are kind of already solidified for the fall, but some of these guys will get a chance to come in and help some of the older guys when they get older. So this is a key unit here for both JV squads as we have a turnover here very earlier in the game, or the ball goes on the ground, not a turnover. Heads up play there by number 9, Dominic Thomas, to come away with the football for the Ohatchee Indians.
Widgeon had it knocked loose. I believe that was number 20 for Welburn, Otis Weatherly. Widgeon, really had a huge, the biggest play probably of the first 3 varsity quarters was that kickoff return to start the second half that broke that 13-13 tie, and that wound up being the difference. So a big break. The ball bounced the Indians' way on that fumble, and they hand it off up the middle to Thomas. Gains about 3, so it'll be third down and 2. Dominique Thomas, number 9, a rising sophomore. Back to Thomas again. Cuts it back up inside. Got the first down. Number 7 for Welburn, Javion Thomas set the edge there, and Thomas had to cut it back up the middle and found plenty of daylight to pick up a first down at the Welburn 42.
That's a solid run here. It's just great vision. Play looked like it was designed to go to the outside, found a little room on the inside, didn't stop moving his feet, able to pick up the first down. A lot of these JV guys throughout the course of the season, during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they're playing the other team. They're giving their first team unit a look at what the opponent will do. So there's a good chance to run their stuff as a flag comes in here. Looks like it might be holding on this run by number 6 for the Indians, Grayson Allward.
Seeing the penalties pick up a bit in the second half, but still a pretty clean game, and that's a credit to both coaching staffs. Not near the number of penalties that we have seen in the spring games that we have televised this year.
One of the things you want to come out of the spring with, number one, you obviously want to come out injury-free, but 2, you want to see how few mistakes you can make, because obviously it's a keynote in football that the team that makes the least mistakes are usually the ones that's in it towards the end. Coach Scott Martin and his crew are doing a great job. It's a good look there at that head coach, and he came in with a lot of the varsity guys were these guys. They were the younger guys, and we've seen how far they've taken that program as a Welburn defensive unit comes up with a huge play there. So far, so good for the Ohatchee Indian offense, but huge play there by the defense.
Yeah, Javion Thomas of Welburn, number 7, he's done a good job setting the edge, the defensive end position. So a big loss, plus the penalty. So second down and a long way, 25. They've got to go all the way to the 31 of Welburn to get a first down. And already eating a lot of the clock here in this final quarter. Almost 4 minutes on this drive. The handoff to number 20, Bailey Graham. And he's knocked off his feet after a short gain at the 47-yard line. So third and still very long to go for the Indians.
Freshman number 63, Dylan Gilbert, doing a pretty good job there on that play. Able to get his hand in and slow him up just enough to get some resources and come up with a big stop there. But once again, still third and forever for this Ohatchee Indian offense. Not too many plays, I would think, drawn up for this situation.
So third down and long. Allward back to throw. Pass is picked off at the 45-yard line by Walter Welburn's Otis Weatherly.
It's really a great job here on both fronts, on the front end and then on the back end. You saw Justin Robley, number 41, come up with nice pressure, and he just throws it up there. And this is something that the young quarterback will have to understand as he moves forward, that when you get pressure like that and it's third down and you want to make a play, it's a situation where it's better to either take the sack or throw it out of bounds than cause the turnover. Otis Weatherly, a heads-up play there by that young man. It's a good shot of him right there. The rising junior doing a pretty good job here for the junior varsity squad. And here we have a whistle before the play develops.
Left guard, number 54, Owen Hollinsworth, came out of his stance a little early, so that'll cost the Panthers 5 yards. By the way, coming up next, it'll be the second game of the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree on this Thursday evening, Alexandria and Weaver. And by the way, we are hearing that Alexandria and Weaver are talking about possibly playing just 2 varsity quarters, then the third quarter being a JV quarter. So we will see how that develops in the second game. There you see the Valley Cubs coming out of the locker room, getting set to take the field. Handoff to number 21, Charles Taylor. And he is lassoed and tackled. Good job on the corner there by Ohatchee's Caleb Lackey.
Good look at the Alexandria Valley Cubs there. We mentioned it earlier. Just a few yards away are playing Mortimer Jordan back in November for a spot at the Super 7 down in Tuscaloosa. Came up just a bit short. And you know they're itching to get back on the field here in 2016.
That's the kind of loss that I don't think ever leaves you. They were so close, had that game in so many ways, had already beaten them in the regular season, at home, And I tell you, Robert Smith is on deck here. I'm thinking about him. He'll be calling that game with you. And, of course, Robert follows the Valley Cubs every week on radio. Robert's over there shaking his head. Yeah. I'm sure Robert will have some thoughts on that when he gets on the mic here coming up in just a little bit. But that really is the kind of game that just sticks with you forever, just how they lost that game, just one game short of playing for a state championship. I tell you, Gerhard, I'm impressed with this young man, number 7, Javian Thomas. He's played pretty well on defense. This is our first look at him on offense.
Yeah, nice little double handoff. They've run this play a couple of times with their first unit. First time we've seen it here with the second unit. Javian Thomas providing a really, really strong run here for Welburn Panthers, and some great blocking up front. That's been the staple so far of this game, I would say. Just I've been so impressed with both offensive lines, and not necessarily just fitting the holes on the inside. They're doing a great job of pulling, getting to the outside and creating some separation.
Handoff to Taylor, gets around the corner, got a block at the 10, inside the 5, spins his way in for the touchdown.
What a wonderful run here by the young man, Charles Taylor. Initially, this is just a one-on-one play because he gets to the outside. He's just able to outrun Hayden Pitts, and then it's just an incredible way to get into the end zone and then outpower the Ohatchee Indian defense. And I would say the next crop of running backs starting to develop here for the Welburn Panthers.
Welburn will go for 2, try to break the 19-19 tie with 5:51 to play. Hand off to Thomas, had to pick it up off the ground and still had the poise to get it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So thanks to some of the younger players, the Welburn Panthers have reclaimed the lead here in the fourth quarter over Ohatchee, 21-19.
Heads up play there by Taylor. Doesn't panic, gets the football, able to regain his feet, get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. First one we've seen all day, and there you see our Tony Sarah Ford scoring drive, 6 plays, 55 yards, 90 seconds off the clock, and it's a strong run there by the Welburn Panthers. That JV unit looking solid so far. We're seeing a lot of the same situations, a lot of the same running plays they ran with their varsity squad, and so the reinforcements doing well so far for both teams, and Welburn capping it off with a touchdown.
And as we mentioned, no live kicking in the fourth quarter like we had in the first 3, so Ohatchee gets it at the 30-yard line. The Indians with some time here, 5:51 to play.
And a lot of the JV guys that play, the ones that you're seeing right now, are a part of those special teams units, so they already got a lot of their work in earlier in the game.
And to give up the middle, number 28 for Ohatchee, Gabe Huff. A new quarterback in as well, Cam Foshee for Ohatchee, as Grayson Allward was the quarterback on their first possession of this quarter. Cam Foshee, a rising sophomore. Handoff once again to Huff. And he picks up about 4 out to the 37. So it'll be 3rd down and 2, 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Ohatchee likes to use a no huddle, but they don't hurry up. They have the signs come in from the sideline to either the quarterback, and I'm sure they have a different call for a quarterback, running backs, and linemen. That's the way they like to get their plays in, as 28, Gabe Huff once again on the carry. So you're seeing 2 different styles, even though when they run the football, it looks similar with both of these teams. 2 different ways of formation, number 1. One lines up in the gun, one lines up primarily under center. And then just the way that they call the plays and get them in is different as well. And so it's one of the things I like to view about football teams, especially ones that have had success over a long period of time, the way they get their plays in, the way they communicate from sideline to the field.
Huff has the football knocked loose, and let's see who got it. I think Ohatchee was able to jump back on it, but still it'll be Welburn football either way because that was 4th down. So football coming loose again here for Ohatchee, and oh no, but Welburn got it anyway. Number 63 jumping on it. That is Dylan Gilbert, a rising sophomore. So Welburn gets it back at the Ohatchee 39 with another chance to score with 4:10 left in the the fourth quarter of this game. And by the way, if you're just joining us, update you on the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree schedule. You've got this game and then Alexandria and Weaver coming up next. And then the Friday night games that were originally scheduled for Friday night have been moved to Saturday due to the threat of bad weather tomorrow. So at noon, you will have Sacs and White Plains. Then at 3 o'clock, it'll be Pleasant Valley, the host school, taking on Pisgah, who is the invited out-of-county school at the Jamboree this year. Number 8, Jaden Harris on the carry. Lost his footing at about the 30, or he might have went the distance. Tackled himself there.
And there's lots to smile about at Ohatchee. Not only the football team looking really solid, the softball team, I should say, is in the state championship. They're in the Elite 8. They will take the field tomorrow against Dale County down in Montgomery, one of the last 8 teams looking to bring back a state championship. Pisgah is also in there. You'll see Pisgah's football team on Saturday right here. So we'll be rooting for the Lady Indians down in Montgomery.
Hand off to number 30, Justin Berry, rising sophomore, his first carry of the game, and he gives his team a first down inside the 25. I tell you, they got a slew of backs. Got some good young ones coming up. So Jeff Smith showing off his stable of running backs here in this game.
Absolutely. The Alexandria softball team was also in Montgomery for the state championship. They lost to Springville today, and then Springville went on to win the 5A state championship. So
here's number 8 again, Jaden Harris. Darts forward to about the 15. Very close to another first down, but he'll be about a yard short.
Double handoff once again. Great seal block there by 43 Logan Grubbs of Welburn. Puts his man on the ground and able to get the football a little closer to the chains here as Welburn's JV unit looking solid now. Second time on the field with the short fields.
Second down and about a yard to go. Handoff up the middle. The big fullback, Josh Rittenhouse, upcoming sophomore. He's got the first down to the 7, so they'll stop the clock momentarily and move the chains. It'll be first and goal for Welburn just inside the Ohatchee 8-yard line. So this quarter has been dominated by the B team and JV players for Walter Welburn.
Defensively and offensively, they're kind of having their will with Ohatchee so far. A lot of these guys will strap it up on the JV game days and try to earn their spots on Friday night. So we're seeing a lot of the guys that will be a part of the mix in the next couple of years really make their mark here for this football team.
Jaden Harris up the middle, tackled by C.J. Ray of Ohatchee for no gain. Second down and goal from the 5. Under 2 minutes to play now. Even Beatles, by the way, in at quarterback. He will keep it for the first time, trying to outrace the defender, and he's in for the touchdown. So Evan Beatles, the current freshman, upcoming 9th grader, or upcoming sophomore, I should say.
Nice job there by Beatles. I mean, there wasn't anything special about that. There wasn't even hardly really much of a play action going or fake to go one way, a fake handoff. He just hit the corner and beat the Ohatchee defense to the outside and was able to get to the end zone as they line up for 2 here.
Another double handoff, and the back taken down short of the goal line by big 78 Jarquez Minifield as he tackled Cam Fauci short, or correction, tackled Jaden Harris short of the goal line. So the 2-point try is unsuccessful. The score will remain 27-19. So a couple of touchdowns here in this fourth quarter for the younger Welburn players. A drive that covered 39 yards in 8 plays, a little over 2.5 minutes. Our Tony Sarah Ford scoring drive, making it 27-19 Welburn over Ohatchee.
The good teams make you pay for your mistakes, and that's exactly what Welburn's JV unit has done. Got the turnover on down / fumble. They got the fumble there on a 4th down stop. Able to get the ball back and punch the team, put them in the end zone. There you see Coach Scott Martin not just working with the varsity guys. He'll also work hands-on with his JV guys and making sure that they're where they need to be. We talked about it earlier. A lot of the guys that run this JV unit, they don't get to run a lot of their stuff during the season. They run a lot of what the opposition runs in order to get the varsity ready to play the football game. So their main job is to provide a look, is what the coaches call it, provide a look about what they'll see on Friday night. So there's a good chance for them to run what they normally run. They don't do that unless they're in JV games or in a spring game like this one. So it's a great chance to get evaluated, to put some good stuff on tape and show the coaches that they can help and produce and be a contributor on Friday nights in the fall.
Thomas, nice run between the tackles. Picks up 9 yards to the 39. Taken down by Welburn's Dylan Gilbert. So 2nd down and 1 now for the Indians. Thomas takes the handoff again. Skips at the original line of scrimmage, and he's gone. Thomas is going to take this one to the house. So the Ohatchee junior varsity comes up with their first points of the quarter. Long touchdown run there by number 9, Dominique Thomas.
Big play there. They ran this a lot in the varsity unit. We saw some great running by Austin Tucker, and then they go to the JV unit. They're able to score a touchdown off of it. And that's a great job there. It's a great look at number 9. It's a good-looking offensive unit, and you see him skip right there across the line of scrimmage and then just outruns the secondary and everybody else getting into the end zone.
2-point try is, successful as Thomas. Second effort, just reaches out, gets the ball across the goal line, breaking the plane, and Ohatchee converts on the 2-point play.
There is nothing coaches love more than that kind of effort, especially down on the goal line. He was stopped dead to rights there, about the 1.5 yard line. Doesn't stop moving his feet, able to get the ball across the end zone here.
2 plays, 70 yards, 36 seconds. And with the 2-point conversion, how about this? We are tied right back where we started at about 4:30 this afternoon at 27-27.
That's where we started at 4:30. That's where we were at halftime at 13-13. And here we sit at 27-27.
And there you see a great shot of the moon overhead here in Jacksonville, Alabama. So Welburn back out on offense. Only 1:07 left. Don't know if we can break this tie, but the Panthers will take a shot at it. Beatles, huge hole, but a flag comes in. Correction, that is number 16 in at quarterback now, Walker Hayes, who had such a good game in the varsity quarters on the defensive side of the football. Chop block against the offense, so this one's coming back.
They changed these rules here to protect the knees, obviously. For a long time, you can chop block on the outside. That is no longer allowed. So when teams go to that, you can't hit below the waist, and that's a player safety rule, and they implemented that over the last few years in high school football. I think it's a good rule. You're seeing a lot of knees get blown out, and it's a teaching mechanism for some of the younger generations to keep the game safe, and I agree with that in a lot of ways. And obviously there's a lot of concussion protocols, a lot of concussion things that they're trying to stop right now in high school football as well. Keep the game as safe as possible without completely eliminating the physicality and the contact.
But a lot of the future of this game rests on the ability to protect guys up high around the head and down low around the knees. And you're right. I think every rule that is put in place for that is essential to the future of the sport of football. So we've got a little extracurricular activity here.
Yeah, it looks like whoever was making that tackle there for Ohatchee either didn't hear the whistle, or maybe got a little frustrated there. And then Walker Hayes also got frustrated. They seemed to separate everybody just fine, and so we'll have that unsportsmanlike against Welburn. And a lot of times they'll see on the back end of that. And these are good teaching points here for both coaches, as they now are so deep in that part of the end zone. They're probably better served just to run the football one time and send this thing to the end of the game here. But these are good teaching points here for really both squads.
So first down and about 35. And here's Thomas. Huge hole. Gets a lot of that yardage back, fumbled the football at the end. Was he down? Ohatchee came up with it, and they say he was not down. So a turnover after the big run by Javion Thomas. Tough break for Thomas, and Ohatchee recovers the loose football. They'll take over with 21 seconds.
Really interesting because the varsity quarter for Ohatchee ended in a turnover. Interception in the end zone, and here comes the JV unit. And that is number 32 for Ohatchee coming up with the strip, and that is Riker Lambert, the freshman defensive back, and he gives his offense a chance. I don't know what the play call here is, but he gives them a chance to come away with a win here.
Thomas on the handoff, and I think that fumble made Javion Thomas mad because he made that tackle for no gain. And that may be the final play.
Yep, it does look like it. Everybody's starting to converge around the 50-yard line as the last 3 seconds tick away here. But I'll tell you what, Mickey, a very, very entertaining game. You come away with your eyebrows raised at what Ohatchee puts on the field. You come away very thinking about the same about Welburn. They have a very solid team, a lot of guys coming back, and lots to look forward to with both these squads here in Class 3A Region 5.
I think a fitting ending to this one as we end the game tied at 27. Both teams shaking hands at the 50-yard line. And once Ohatchee and Welburn players clear the field, Alexandria and Weaver will take the field for pregame warm-ups in Game 2 of the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree. As I mentioned, Gerhard will stay in the booth. He'll be joined by Robert Smith for the play-by-play call of Alexandria and Weaver. And once again, keep in mind for scheduling purposes, no games here tomorrow night due to the threat of some rainy weather. So the Friday night games have been rescheduled for Saturday at noon. Sax and White Plains will kick off, and then at 3 o'clock, Pleasant Valley and Pisgah. Chase Robinson is rounding up Welburn head coach Jeff Smith, and let's send it down to the field to Chase.
All right, Coach, wrapping up your spring today. First of all, how's spring been going for y'all on the Welburn Panthers?
Well, I felt like we had a good spring. I don't think we played well today. I sure don't. We had a good spring, but right here at the end, I think we came out here today and we didn't have the intensity we've had some of the spring right there. And, hey, hats off to Ohatchee. They came out here ready to play, and I thought they really played well. And actually, I think they outplayed us. Score indicates it's tie score and everything, but at the end of the third quarter, they actually won the varsity part of it. But again, I think Coach Martin and staff did a good job. I think Ohatchee came out here and played well. I think we've had a good spring right here, but I do not think we played well today. But you know what? Learning lesson. We can go back this summer and correct our mistakes right there and get better for the fall.
What are some things you saw today that you want to be sure to correct for next season?
Well, finishing drives. The first drive we went down here and we had a chance to score on a pass right there, and we didn't score. And then we had another chance. We was down there and fumble snap. So we had an incomplete pass forward that could have been a touchdown, and a fumble snap that could have led for a touchdown. So that's two scores right there that we didn't get, that we left out there. When you got drives, you got to finish the drives. Good points of it right there. I thought we threw the ball fairly well tonight. I thought receivers ran pretty good routes and everything. I think our spread stuff looked pretty good. So I was pleased with that. I mean, there's some good things. And I'm also pleased with this, that we brought 51 players here tonight and we got to play them all. I think that's very important because a lot of them were real nervous coming into this.
Well, thanks, Coach, and good luck next season.
Hey, thank you a lot. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Chase. And Coach Jeff Smith kind of seeing some of the good and some of the bad. And clearly, I think the difference in this game, this team just made some crucial mistakes. And I, again, go back to the turnover inside the 10 where they were about to score. Then, of course, giving up the long kickoff return to start the second half. It really made the difference in those three varsity quarters. Take a break. Gerhard and I will come back with some closing remarks on this game and set the stage for Game 2 between Alexandria and Weaver as we continue with our live coverage at the Calhoun County Spring Jam presented by Tony Sarah Ford. We'll be back in a moment.